infectious.
Hillary from Arkansas, Hillary from Little Rock, Arkansas. Got an idea from Tiffany, moved to New York and run for senator. All through the state, people shout your name. Hillary! You will never beat Giuliani. No, sir! The idea seems so silly. Hillary from Arkansas. Miss Hillary from Arkansas, right out of the cornfield on Hee-Haw. Husband Billy is a naughty boy. When you leave the house, he'll jump for joy. White water now, just a memory. Hillary! Generino doesn't have a clue. No, sir! You and Bill are so damn slippery. Hillary from Arkansas. I think you should run, honey. Well, hell yes, I do. I think you should devote all your time to it. And I'll just, I'll stay home, you know. I'll take care of things. Taking care of business. I'm a BTL fan, man. Miss Hillary from Arkansas is the damnedest thing I ever saw. You're a twitty little goofy dog, 'cause you never have lived in New York, so change your mind while in Illinois. Hillary! We don't believe that you're a Yankee fan. No, sir! You're a dope-beating bad Democrat. Hillary from Arkansas. H-I-L-L-A-R-Y! Hillary! Hillary!
I'm infectious.
902 at 560 WQAM. We've got a major development at QAM today. Some people there didn't realize what a major thing it was and just kind of like blurted it out. I don't want to say which one of the people that came into the studio this morning, since there were so many, to bond with me before the show, blurted this out. When in doubt, they blurted it right out. A major scandal. Do you know that I have leprosy? Did you know that?
Oh, yeah, and AIDS.
And
chiggers.
beriberi. And chiggers.
Right.
And what else?
Fatness, diabetes, fleas.
Right. Oozing bloody diarrhea.
Toenail fungus.
To make a long story short,
I'm infectious.
not. But we got some real winners. The reason I played the Hillary thing, I'm watching MSNBC last night, which I rarely do since I like to get some real news, but at any rate, I'm channel surfing. And it was on Hardballs with Chris Matthews, who makes me nauseous. And then we're doing showing the latest poll among Democratic voters, and Hillary is leading by a pretty good margin. She's got 28%. And Drew Lieberman has slipped way down like into the middle of the pack with 11. Did I put Bob Graham on that thing for today? I sure hope.
Let me look.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
At any rate, so they put her up against the Bushmeister, against W. And, of course, this right on the heels of this wonderful war, this victory in Iraq, this Operation Iraqi Freedom. And he had 52%, she had 41%. And she's not even running. This is also on the heels of that ass-kicking speech he made on Monday night where she really just ripped ass and just tore into him and did a wonderful job. Because I'll tell you one thing about Hillary, even though I'm not a fan of her, she's got balls. And if she's the one that could be, and that's why we're going to take the poll that we're going to do today. That's what inspired me to do it, to do. But I think the most important part of the show today is...
I'm infectious.
Not. We got some people out of the Stone Age at QN. This comes to me, I mean, I realize we had some morons there, you know, and some real bad people. But until this moment, I always thought it was Barzini. Huh? Or was it Tattaglia? I don't know. I never really knew for sure. And now I realize it's Miguel and George Corso are too. We'll get some more names today. We'll find out some more of the other idiots in that building who are living in the Stone Age. Miguel, I've written him off. I don't care how good he looks. Although when I do come back to town unannounced very soon, the first thing I do in the building is stick my tongue down his throat. Gonna run up to him from behind.
Of course.
Rectum.
Yeah. Grab him by the back of the neck and just tilt his head back and stick my tongue all the way down his throat. Which I've been, Well, I've been wanting to do that for a long time anyway. This gives me a good excuse. So I can share all of my diseases with Miguel.
I'm infectious.
I think he's been hearing too many of those Cuban chupacabra stories for too many years, you know. This is true. The audience probably finds this almost unbelievable. That anybody that stupid could really believe that just because I'm here in Toronto that I have SARS and that I'm infectious and I need to be quarantined. I'm not sick, okay? Although we got some people there who obviously are mentally sick. There are 5 million people in this city. 5 million. Life goes on. Even in the paper this morning, the WHO says it's their fault. They screwed the city. Because they said if they would have been on top of the SARS thing in the first place, they could have, stemmed the epidemic right from the beginning if they would have warned healthcare officials about what it was really all about. we never would have had any major problem here. Of course, China, they lie so much, who the hell knows? That's where the real big problem is in China. In fact, they had on the news last night that there are a lot of people in China who are infected who aren't going to doctors because they don't trust the government. So they're afraid they're not going to get the proper care. I don't know what they are doing, probably running around infecting other people.
I'm sure.
Probably yelling in Chinese.
I'm infectious!
Things like that. Things like that. You know something? You could knock me over with a feather, and it would have to be, I guess, a big feather.
Right. Or feather
But
duster.
I mean, I'm just amazed at how stupid it's possible to be. Especially in a building there where there's always that corporate disease and everybody's coughing and gagging and choking. And I got some real bad news for you, Miguel and George Corso. I have some real bad news. Remember when I came back a little bit early back in March?
Yeah.
Well, the
SARS.
problem already had started here back then.
That's right.
Yeah, and I was already there.
Oh.
And I breathed.
Swooning. You know, I
did
think-
the show for,
Right.
well, how long was I there? A couple of weeks?
Right.
I think I was there about 3 weeks, whatever.
We
or
were in
2.5
the studio
weeks.
at the same time. I think that's what I have now. I think I need to be
I
quarantined.
think you got SARS, man.
I want to quarantine myself for a month at home.
I think you got scars on your
Rectum.
That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, we asked yesterday on NeilRogers.com. We got a lot of stuff, a lot of people to rip here today, and I'm going to do it very enthusiastically, especially Miguel. I'm done with Miguel. Done. Bye. Like Mickey Mouse said, bye. Because
I'm infectious!
you're an idiot, Miguel. You really are. I knew. I mean, aren't there any of your people that got a brain besides the two of you? And of course, in Beaner Boy's case, I often wonder.
I'll get back to you.
No, seriously. I mean, what is this story? How is it
Does
possible?
Yarnez.
This is really, it's the chupacabra, it's the, what's the thing with the Irish with the monster,
the
and
Blarney
the
stuff.
Loch Ness monster?
Since-
I mean,
Since
get
we were
with it.
talking, because you're singling him out, it was
I'm singling who out?
Miguel.
And I'm mentioning George Corso,
Right,
who's a
but it
right-wing
was,
moron. That, by the way, is our chief engineer that just got through screwing over a real good guy, Julio, who was our only real engineer, who knew what he was doing, who helped to put my fine studio together up here.
Come to find out, since we had this throng in here this morning and we were all discussing it, it was brought
Yes.
up. It was brought up in a meeting. Large numbers of people in the building are concerned. Some people wanted Greg to do something about it.
You have to be joking.
No.
It was brought up in a meeting
Yeah.
that they have to
Great
alert
concern.
the staff when I'm going to come back and I have to be quarantined because I've been in Toronto for a couple of weeks?
Or told to stay away, don't come back.
Okay. Okay, fine with me. I mean, I will be coming back because I obviously got personal business to take care of down there, but I'll just take the time off during that period of time. Of course, no, seriously, if I'm unfit for human habitation, then I'll just take that time off. It's up to Greg. He can pay me for doing nothing or pay me for showing up and working. That has got to be the most stupid, the most ignorant, the most idiotic thing I've ever heard of in my life. In what is supposed to be the age of enlightenment, when people have got some kind of a clue what's going on. QAM, man, you can't complain about our IQ because collectively there ain't any. What are these people thinking of? Oh, it's SARS. You know something? I think what we ought to do is take a whole bunch of those, whoever those people were in that meeting, along with Miguel and Corso, put them in first class, and bring them all up here on a plane. Just tell them you're going on a flight to the Bahamas or somewhere, and then they wind up here at Pearson International Airport in Toronto. And then just put them all in a big bus and just turn them loose downtown. Oh, you guys in Toronto, by the way. Oh, no! Can you see that?
I'll go.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. I'm sure Beaner Boy would do
Right.
it. I bet you, Miguel, what's his name? Julio that just got canned. I'm sure he would have come back up here. He loved it. There's nothing going on here. There's no problem. 5 million people in this city. Do you know how many in the city have SARS?
Oh!
None. Zero. There are some people in the hospital still have it, and some of the ones that were really very, very sick that they knew were going to die, like 2 more died yesterday, people, bringing it to 23, but they were like deathly ill from the thing in the first place. In a hospital. In the general community, out of 5 million people, nobody, zero, have got it. In fact, now that they got these package deals to get people back to the shows and the theaters and the ball games and everything, now that they got these package deals, 4,000 calls a minute as of 9 o'clock yesterday after the WHO lifted the travel advisory. But just to show you that we got plenty of cheap Canadians, just like cheap South Floridians, 2 nights ago when it was $1 a holler for the Blue Jays game and they had 40,000 people in there, claiming it was 48,000, but about 40,000. To, $1 a ticket and to stand up for the city and show their support. Last night there must have been about 20 people in there. And I don't have that thing in there. About how many?
About 30, man.
Yeah, that's how many people. Seriously, there could have been 1,000 people at that game last night. So it goes to show you. Anyway, what Florida tourist destination would you tell your out-of-state friends to avoid, we asked yesterday. Certainly the QAM building when I come back. Because don't forget.
I'm infectious.
Right. Mm-hmm. Little Havana wins hands down. In fact, the top three all share one thing in common, and that is nobody speaks English there. Little Havana, 332, Dade County, 179, and the Sawgrass Mills Mall, 137. That's the only thing I see in common there. No speaking English. Swap Shop, 106. Joe's Stone Crabs, 97. I heard the Mad Dog going on yesterday about his dinner the night before at Joe's and about it's better than sex and it's yada this and that. What is he talking about? Does he get freebies there or something?
He must be on the list.
He must be on that list. Maybe the Humper put him on the list, because I know the Humper's big on Joe's Stone Crabs. A State of Mind, boys and girls, don't go there. Marlins Game, 84, don't go there. Rascal House, 60.
Oi!
Unless you want to steal some silverware. Disney World, 57. Key West, 43. Bayside, 39. The Maikai, 35. Seaquarium, 32. The Jungle Queen, 20. Stay away from that queen. Lion Country Safari, 20. The Monkey Jungle, 18. Metro Zoo, 12. Pompano Pier, 9. Theater of the Sea, 8. Coral Castle, 7. Busch Garden, 6. And Vizcaya had just a pier. Isn't Vizcaya a museum?
Yeah, it's a big mansion, big
It's a
old
garden.
mansion full of...
Right, but I mean, it's like open to the public. It's a museum. I don't know what you would do there.
Antiques. You see the old stuff like any other museum.
And they have a lot of weddings.
You can see a lot of old crap, but you can do that in Sunrise outside for free. Sunrise Lakes, you can see oldie moldies for free, or like in Carriage Hills where Mommy lives. Well, at any rate, we got quite a day coming up for you today. Trust me when I tell you. And this is all comes out of nowhere too. This whole sickness business. This whole QAM sickness business. George Corso, our chief engineer. Now, you'll notice, of course, he's just Bob Vermouth Jr. That's all he is. He's just a younger, smaller version of Bob Vermouth. That's all. Because Vermouth wanted to hire a flunky who'd be just as Neanderthal as he was and just as inept as he is, and he did. And that's what we got is our chief engineer, Corso. Did he come here and have anything to do with putting this place together?
No.
No. Did he go to Amsterdam, have anything to do with that mess?
No.
No. Because he probably would have got disease in Amsterdam. You know all the stuff that's going on over there.
Filthy. All you degenerates over there.
There's all kinds of like things crawling around over there. Oh God, it's unbelievable. So it's a damn good thing that he stayed where the hell he was. Stay where you are, Corso. You're a lunatic, man. You're an idiot. And Miguel, I'm going to do hours on Miguel today. You know, I really am.
You're going to do Miguel for hours?
No, haven't I always stood up for him? Have I gone to bat for him when they brought in Doreen and they screwed him over and they didn't give him any more money and they promised him a new title and they just they gave him a title with no more money? Haven't I always stood up for that child? Mm-hmm. Probably mostly because he looks good. But you know something? People that look good, they have this expectation, this feeling of entitlement, like he's entitled to like special consideration. I mean, I'm not going to stick my tongue down Doreen's throat when I come back. I think what I should do is come back like on a day that they're not expecting it. I'm sure they're all looking at the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a butt, I smell it.
Welcome back to the, hey, ain't that Neil over there?
Where?
There, over there, you moron. Walking down the hallway.
Yeah, that's him.
Hey, Neil, look, I'm waving at him, but he acts like he don't see me.
Hello, Neil.
It's me. How you doing, Neil?
Oh, why you sitting there, Mo? Go out there and talk to him.
What are you, nuts? I approached no one. I got nothing to say to him anyway. Who the hell's he think he is, that Wang Non Swish? I got better things to do. Like adjust my pee bag here. Oh, age is so cruel. Oh.
Here, Mo, I got something here that'll make you feel better.
Yeah, sure you do.
Oh, really? Here, step into my time machine.
Time machine? Where'd you get that?
I got it on eBay.
Oh, okay. Why don't you stand over here?
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Get some pictures here.
Wait, by the way, something. Where are you sending me? Wow, I must be in the 1930s or something. What a time warp. Like the one Boca Brian stuck in. Hey, watch where you're going. Now, see here. Nobody talks to me like that. Do you know who I am? I'm Mo Howard David.
You can't be Mo Howard. I'm Mo Howard.
There's only one Mo Howard, and that's me, pal. Why, I made my bones when you were going doodle diving.
Now, a wise guy, eh? How many fingers I got up?
2.
Take a closer look.
I'm Mo Howard, I tell you.
So, you're Mo Howard, huh?
That's right.
Take it easy, Mo. This guy's crazy.
Shut up, you moron. Now, see here, lame brain.
Who you calling lame brain? Why, I'll have you know I'm a well-respected sportscaster from Paradise.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, for your information, I'm a proctologist.
Says you.
Sure, come here, I'll show you.
Hey! Where do you think you're taking me?
Nah, man, help me drag him back an alley here, you mullet head.
Got him, Mo.
All right, get his pants down.
Are you sure, Mo?
I said get his pants down. What, are you going to give me a hard time, too? That's right.
Why you oughta...
Why you, I oughta...
Why you oughta...
Why you, I oughta...
Why you oughta...
Why you, I oughta...
I'm infectious.
918. I'll tell you one thing, I guarantee there's a lot more disease in that muskrat that's crawling around on Mo's head than I've ever had in my life. Guaranteed. No contest. Today's May 1st. You know what that means, don't you?
What's that?
The official start of our Hot Couples Contest.
That's right.
And people can log on to our website, neilrogers.com, not just vote on our poll, which I'll give you momentarily, and email us a picture of themselves with their significant other. It can be a man and a woman. It can be two guys, two women, or that's it. No children, no pets.
Oh.
No, we don't want to get Rick Santorum all whipped up into a frenzy, okay? 2 weeks' time to enter the pictures. Thursday, May 15th, pictures will be up on the web, and voters can vote for their favorite. Then they'll be up there for a whole week, starting May 15th. And on Thursday, May 22nd, the couple that gets the most votes from the audience wins. We'll be doing this once each month for 3 months. Remember how long it took Miguel to finally get this thing put together?
No.
That was my last consorting with Miguel. That was my last involvement with him. Washed my hands. Done. You notice how this is the week? I guess all of us in our lives, we reach a point where we finally say to ourselves, I'm getting rid of my extra baggage in my life at this point. You know what I'm saying?
No, what are you saying?
I'm saying this is the week that is. Not was, but is. It's still in progress. And so this week I just wash my hands, which is a good idea here especially.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I wash my hands. I'm scrubbing them clean
Hot, soapy water.
of certain people who just have been an impediment to my enjoyment of life. People who have been pests, people who have been annoying, people who have been Klingons, people who have been expensive. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Expensive, like certain ones who just left here. And Miguel is the next one. Anyway, the grand prize for our Hot Couples Contest, 3-day, 2-night stay for two at the Royal Oasis Resort and Casino in the Bahamas with round-trip airfare on Lake Air, and the runner-up gets dinner for two at the Pizza Loft. So send us your pictures. We're not looking for naked pictures. I mean, that's, it's not that kind. Although. Let's see. Here's Bill sends us our first fax of the morning before I get back to attacking some of the morons in that building. I'm flabbergasted.
Well, Neil, before you get too flabbergasted, I had a question for you.
Yes?
The Hot Couples Contest, we were supposed to put the pictures up on May 15th and have them vote through May 22nd.
Yes?
But, we can put them up today already. But.
Well, what do you mean I'm flabbergasted? Before I get too flabbergasted?
Well, I don't know. You just said you were going to get flabbergasted.
No, I said I am flabbergasted, not I'm going to get flabbergasted.
Well, why are you flabbergasted?
You don't get flabbergasted like, it's like saying I'm going to get angry in a few minutes. Yeah, I mean, maybe you do that. Like it's staged.
Oh, I plan everything out.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, when you're under the overpass, I guess you have a lot of time to plan things. Like when you're going to pick the next flea off your scalp. But anyway, what is it? You want to put them up there now? Hey, that's fine with me. That'll give you like 3 whole weeks you want to have still the same deadline?
Well, that's the thing. I feel bad if people were going to wait until May 15th or May 14th to
see, you're missing the point. See, you see what he's doing, George?
No, I'm
playing Butch Boss now. See, he's interfering because we have 7 or 8 pictures already, right?
Right.
But those are just people that wanted to get a jump on, give us a head start. The thing doesn't officially start till today.
Oh,
so
okay, I see what you were saying.
It's not fair to put up those 7 or 8 and give them a head start, and not only that, but once people vote the first time, they can't change their vote.
I agree.
So maybe in a week, all of a sudden there's this hot young couple on there, stark naked or something, or maybe in a very provocative position, or maybe one or both of them really look sensational, and people say, oh, I wish I could take back my vote from Joe and Jane or whatever it was, and they can't do it.
Well, we don't have to let them vote yet.
No, you're right. I thought you wanted me to put the pictures up today. I was going to tell you that I didn't think we should. Okay. We're on the same page.
Do you have any idea what he just said?
I thought you wanted to put the
No, I'm
pictures
not
up
talking
today.
to you. I'm talking to George. I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, I understand. No.
No. He's the one who created the problem, and now it's like, oh, I thought you wanted me to do that. Didn't I do the promo just as it's written here?
Yeah.
By my former close personal friend, the lovely Miguel?
I think the point that he was trying
and
to make...
something? He don't look that good anyway. He couldn't lick Tom Welling's ass.
I think what Carlos was trying
even
to say
if it was flaming.
We can put the pictures up but not let them vote, just so that people can see what kind of pictures we're getting as they come in.
That's okay, but you just got through saying you don't want to do that.
He miscommunicated his intention, I think.
I don't want to do that.
Are you Do you want to do it?
No.
Don't do it.
Thank you.
Let's do it just the way it says on here. You see, now you're a troublemaker. I think Eric was right about you. You're just a professional little troublemaker. That's what you are. So like I said before, let's see, the Rimmers and certain other people and like Miguel Corso, of course, he was already off my list. I told you about him. How long ago did I tell you about him?
I don't know, about 30 years ago?
Yeah, way back in the beginning when we first started. Didn't I tell you about him?
Hey, you can't write Miguel off. We need him for this hot couples contest.
What do we need him for? We'll do it with Doreen. Doreen's our kind of promotion person.
You do it with Doreen.
No, I don't mean that. No, I'll do that with Miguel, but I don't want to work with him. I'll do that any day. And then he will fear me. But at any rate, no, seriously, she could do something on this. She was real good at getting that food in there,
Hey,
remember?
He's the one that came across.
She's real good at getting the food in. Of course, she eats about 2/3 of it, but that's beside the point. She's got to keep up her size. And what were you saying?
We need Miguel. He's the one that came across with the prizes. He's the one that went and did all the work.
You need Miguel. You need him. He's not going to talk to me anyway. When I come back, he's not going to come in that studio if I'm there.
He'll just wear a mask.
Yeah. He ought to wear a mask. He ought to wear a goddamn Zorro mask, you idiot. You superstitious spick. God almighty, do I despise that little piece of crap. The reason we don't have a Best of Neil, by the way, this year is because George and Miguel are both lazy.
Yeah.
Right, that's right. And they don't want to be burdened with it. Plus, they don't trust Eric, and, of course, I can understand that. Oh. See, that was what really started turning us off. Remember I said we're going to go ahead and do it the best of?
With all due respect,
yes.
The work that I do on it would have taken 2 or 3 hours, and I do it every year. And, yeah, tops. So laziness was not my excuse. The logistical problems that we would have encountered beyond that were dissuasive to me. How shall we put that?
Yeah. So whose fault was it?
You were just talking.
Oh, you're going to blame Eric for it? You're going to get Miguel off?
No,
that's because Eric's not a Cuban. See, that's the deal. All you guys stick together.
Okay,
that's right.
Sure. It's a cadre.
All you spicks stick together.
It's a
I guarantee if he was Rican, you wouldn't be sticking up for him. You'd be attacking his ass.
Maybe you would.
No, I'm not into that. Anyway, can I get back to this? I started reading this, and then Beaner Boy interrupted and got killed a whole few minutes, which is good because we got no spots on the log today, which we're still trying to get to the bottom of that. Probably because...
I'm infectious!
Yeah, that must be it. Maybe everybody's put the word out there, and let's just avoid that midday show because...
I'm infectious!
Right, even though we got the top numbers on the station, by a mile. We don't want our fine sponsors to be on a station, on a show that's got a lot of listeners. We want them to be on somebody that's clean, that's antiseptic. Like Mo. Yeah, right. See, I'm almost tempted to tell a story about when we were still working for Paxson at IOD. And it became obvious that we were going to go over to QAM. Or at least it was in the discussion stage. And a certain fat afternoon sports host on his station, I don't want to mention his name, but was running around shooting off a mouth around a building about, I'm going to bring in a can of Lysol. I'm not going to sit on the same toilet seat as that faggot. Of course, that was back when the Humper was a temperamental, grouchy guy. Remember in the beginning he was out of control? And I reformed him. So, I don't want to pat myself on the back too much, but I'll take credit for helping Julio lose 25 pounds by embarrassment. And secondly, embarrassing Hank to become much more humane and much more mellow and,
speaking of that.
Yes.
Because we were discussing yesterday if, we knew anybody who was really, really fat and lost a lot of weight. Boca Brian was offended that we didn't remember him. I didn't realize that he had lost 127.
He was never that big.
He lost 127 pounds. And I didn't know. I thought he lost maybe 50.
127
He lost
pounds?
127 pounds.
Since we've known him?
Since we've known him.
Get out of here.
I was shocked.
Get out of here.
I'm telling you.
He'd be the size of a mosquito. Oh, by the way, West Nile virus. That's another one I'm bringing back for you, Miguel and Corso. I'm bringing back some West Nile virus, some SARS, some HIV,
of course,
some SPCA, some beriberi,
hepatitis C,
hepatitis A. That's the Canadian one, hepatitis A. Anyway, Bill says, talk about a mugwump. This morning at about 6:10, Mo was attempting to expound upon yet another sport he has no clue about. This time it was horse racing. While discussing the upcoming Kentucky Derby, he referred to the inside most position at the gate as the pole position. It was up to Squeaky Boy to correct him, explaining the term pole position was for car racing, and that with horses it's called the post position. He immediately said, that's what I meant to say. Sure, Mo, sure, you asshole, says Bill. You're an asshole, Bill, said Mo. And let me say it again, that piece he wears to work every day, whichever one it happens to be, I guarantee is much more moldy and much more dangerous and unhealthy than whatever the hell I've ever had. I really am. I'm just almost speechless from this crap that I'm hearing from a variety. Huh? No, I really am. It's just so stupid. How could anybody be that stupid? Have you ever heard anything? I'm amazed that they let me in there in the first place because of the obvious,
Right.
Oh, he's got to have AIDS. It must have something.
He must.
And it certainly must have things crawling around in my
Rectum.
maybe a gerbil farm or something. I'm surprised Miguel ain't on the phone with the SPCA right now, turning me into the Richard Gere crime prevention unit.
They'll be waiting at the airport.
Or somebody's unit. Miguel, it's really a shame that somebody that looks as good as you is such a Neanderthal little moron. God, are you dumb? Is he dumb?
Yes.
Oh. Corso, like I said, that goes with the territory. That's no surprise. I think he's kin to the Beasleys anyway. I think he was the one who was playing the banjo in the tree in that movie. I think that was George Corso. Hey, George, I'm going to breathe on your equipment. How do you like that?
Oh, no. Oh, and I'm using this microphone.
Yeah, no wonder you're all sick. No wonder you're dying over there, huh? 9:29 at 560 WQM. The Chupacabra's going to get you, baby. The Chupacabra. Hey, I'll tell you a place where you'll be real happy and you'll be safe, and that's Brandy Shoes in Pompano Beach, who this year are celebrating 25 amazing years of doing good things on your feet and for your feet and with your feet. They got the top brands in the world. They got salespeople who give you a perfect fit every time. They got them all. They got Rockports, Echo, Mephisto, Timberland, Clark's, SAS, Florsheim, and lots more. And no matter what your feet are like, whether they're like tiny sizes or wide or narrow, they got them all too. Men's sizes 6 to 15, women's 5 to 12, and widths from the very narrow to the very, very wide. Like I said the other day, like a big platypus, like a duck. You ever see anybody with webbed feet?
Yes, actually.
Don't want to talk about it. Anyway, and they got people there at Brandy's who really know how to fit you right to make sure you get a perfect fit every time. With over 40,000 pair in stock in their 8,000 square foot mega store, I'll bet Miguel's life on it and throw in George Corso's life as well, that they have exactly what you want in stock in your size. Brandy's Shoes, a great place to treat your feet. They're at 1290 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach, open daily 9 to 9, Sundays 10 to 5. And right now is, as always, a great time to shop Brandy's because a select group of women's style naturalizers are on special sale right now this week. Take 20 to 60% off. So stop by the store or visit Brandy's on the web if you like at Brandy's Shoes. That's with 3 S's. Got it? You counting them? Brandy'sShoes.com.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Station stands for nothing.
Oh, I wonder, oomba-doo-doo, why we dropped the bomb of love.
Poor little Ali, his legs are now a stump. Let's thank the boy for making gas cheaper at the pump.
Oh, I wonder, oomba-doo-doo, why we dropped the bomb of love. First you brainwash the public to love Bush like a god. Then you hijack the U.S. for all your corporate buddies to get anything you want. You conquer them and tell them, give democracy a chance. Then you pillage and you plunder for oil, water, and natural gas. Oh, I wonder, oomba-doo-doo, why we dropped the bomb of love.
What's a few dead babies? They didn't suffer long. We sure showed them a thing or two, my country, right or wrong.
Oh, I wonder, oomba-doo-doo, why we dropped the bomb of love. I wonder why we dropped the bomb of love.
Oh, my God.
9:34 at 560 WQM. Happy Thursday to you. It's raining cats and dogs here. It's cloudy and murky and gray, and I understand the same for down there, huh?
Likewise, yes. So anyway.
Well, yes?
So Miguel called all pissed off. He wants
screw him, okay?
He wants to correct something.
What's that?
He's not afraid of the chupacabra, but he is terrified of the chupapinga.
I'm sure of that. Chew on this, sweetheart. He didn't call you.
No, I made that up.
Oh. Now, he's not going to show his face in there because now that he realizes that I reminded him that I actually was in there back in March and early April for about 2.5 weeks. Now he's definitely going to stay clear of both of those rooms.
No, he did call, actually.
And said what?
And said...
You know something? Between the two of you this morning, and I'm glad we got the audience as a bunch of witnesses out there, between you and Beaner Boy, your disciple, I can't get a straight answer out of you. He's making a whole sentence about doing something that I didn't say we were going to do in the first place. I thought that's what you wanted to do. After I just got through reading it exactly the way we planned on doing it, and he's making a problem that doesn't exist, but it killed some good time. And now what are you killing good time with?
Miguel.
And?
Oh, he thinks it's hysterical. Of course, he loves you. You rip him all you want.
He doesn't love me.
He does love you.
Since when?
He does love you.
Since when is this?
From a distance. You know he's
When
your
I
biggest
left
fan.
the last time, he wouldn't even kiss me on the lips. How do you like that? He loves me. Huh? Of course, I guess he must have realized I've been here.
Yeah, well, he loves you as a friend. not in that way.
He has been in my house.
Right.
And he did know both of my dogs, rest in peace. Although, you know something? Now that I think about it, and maybe it wasn't him, but I'm pretty sure it was him. Back when he was at my house that time, what the hell was he bringing me? He brought me something. Well, I can't say it on the air.
Okay.
No, but he did bring me something. And then, at that time, my golden retriever had the stuff in his ears because he always had the ear infections,
right.
and they packed it with that awful gray stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And so he smelled. You know, I mean, my dogs never smelled.
Right. I know that.
But at that time, he smelled from that stuff. And I remember him, I guess he doesn't like dogs. Is he the one?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Never had
because, you know, my dogs loved everybody.
Sure.
I think I need to get some dogs. I really do. You know, since I hate to say this on the air because I try not to unload my personal baggage, and it's not like that I've even shed a tear, although I was a little emotional for a half a second.
Mm-hmm.
Did I talk about seeing the min pin? Did I mention that, or did I just tell you that off the air?
No, you did not. Either or.
Really?
Really.
Now, this was, I believe, last Friday, and I was walking around downtown. And there was a guy walking his dog, and it was a female. She was pregnant, and so obviously chubby.
Right.
Looked like Boca Brian before the diet. And, but the face was the same as Tiny. And you don't see a lot of min pins, you know, they're,
right.
For whatever reason.
They're not common.
Really?
Really.
And I saw that face, and it's a good thing it wasn't a male, because if it would have been a male, it would have been identical. And at that point, I bet you I would have, shed a little tiny tear. Yeah, like that. And then I'm going about my business.
Right.
But, since Tiny died, now the other one, because I knew he was, golden retrievers live 13, 14 years, and he lived to 13, and, it was sad, but little dogs sometimes live to 18 or 20.
Right.
And Tiny was only 14. And I just have the feeling that there's something, when he died, it was like a certain degree of finality, you know?
Right.
Like now I'm ready. I'm ready to go to the balcony out here. It's right in front of me. I can go to the balcony and jump.
Don't do it. You're too young.
I watched that last night. Your psychic powers must be. I watched the first half of Network again last night. I didn't need to see the rest of it.
Yeah.
But I just needed to see the first half. Is so great. And William Holden was so sensational. In addition to which, I'll tell you, when we did those surveys on best performances, anybody could not have done, I guess she did maybe, Faye Dunaway for Network, but she only got 5 or 6 votes. Man, she was unbelievable in that. There are a couple of scenes where she goes through this long hysteria, where she's in there with Robert Duvall,
right,
and she's talking him in to put Howard Beale back on the air.
Mm-hmm.
That scene is worth $1 billion. I mean, her performance there, just if that was the only thing she did in the movie.
Right, but she's great.
She was phenomenal in there. She's great. Anyway, finally somebody faxes me. Better late than never, but even so, they still can't get her. You know, I feel bad. I feel really bad for the people of South Florida because there are, they've got some assholes. But there are a lot of nice people in South Florida who deserve better. But unfortunately, you got the crappy politicians. You got the corrupt assholes that want to keep it a banana republic the way it's been for a long time, for about, how many years?
About 30, man.
Yeah, I would say. Mostly about 23, I would say, since Mariel. Since the courageous Freedom Flotilla. Right. Another example of a horrendous nightmare being portrayed as something super wonderful to wave the flag about. Right. The courageous Freedom Flotilla. And that preceded just, since I talked yesterday about the story of Jerry Williams last day on the air on WNWS.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that was going on in that hood at the time was because it was just months after the Mariel boat lift, and at that time, Dade County, and especially South Dade, was turning into a toilet. There were all kinds of murders and bodies in cars on the Dixie Highway, and the convenience store that was across from where we used to be there on Ludlam and the Dixie, that was getting knocked off on an average of once every 10 days. So that's part of the courageous Freedom Flotilla that certain elements of the media didn't want to talk about too much, including the Herald, of course, because they were busy pandering even back then to certain elements in the community who still hate him like poison, by the way. Hate to break the news to you at the Herald, they all hate you. So when the Sun Sentinel, speaking of South Florida newspapers, they finally, better late than ever, get around to this. Somebody faxes me from the obituary page today, and there's nothing in here about Jerry Williams ever being in South Florida. And I don't want to burden you with the whole thing. It said he died at Mass General after a long illness. WRKO in Boston. He worked in Philly, New York, Chicago. He was a pioneer. He did this. He started his radio career in Bristol, Tennessee in 46. Came to Boston to work for WMEX AM, which is when I heard him. He was all over the place. Moved to WMC in New York, WWDB, The Wonderful World of Dolly Banks in Philly, where he became the first FM talk show host. He was inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame in 1996, carried out frequent radio crusades, became a especially harsh critic of former Governor Michael Dukakis of Massachusetts, and he'd been in semi-retirement. Well, actually, he was pushed into semi-retirement by Walter Sabo. We don't want to rehash that, do we?
Yeah, let's.
Sure. Walter Sabo's another asshole. Screwed over Jerry big time because he was the consultant for RKO. Jimmy Carter, that's with a J-I-M-I, Jimmy, why you do this to me? Jimmy Carter of WROL-AM in Boston, where Mr. Williams had done guest spots, recalled a piece of advice Mr. Williams had given. He said, if you can't be good, be loud. And he was good and he was loud, Jerry Williams. He had a very stentorian voice. But not condescending like certain other people we know what stentorian voices.
No, who?
I'm infectious!
Oh. You know, not like that. He had a great voice. Jerry Williams, one of the great. So there's nothing to hear about him ever working at WNWS for a year in Miami, and this is in the Sun Sentinel. And it's written by Bipasha Ray, whoever that is, Bipasha, Bipasha Ray from the Associated Press. Nice going, Tom Jicka. Once again, little Tommy drops the ball. I would be surprised if, just like Mickey, his balls start turning black. You know, his basketballs. No, it wouldn't surprise me, because that's what happens. That's the way the Lord works. When you continue screwing up over and over and over again.
I'm infectious!
That little Tommy, man, he just ain't cutting it. 9:41 at 5:6. Am I rambling here?
In a good way.
Good. And listen, I'm just going on. I'm moving forward. Because like I said, this is the week in my life that I make a lot of changes, some of which are already been made. And this business, now how can he rationalize? See, he's in denial, Miguel, the fact that he calls you and he still loves me and blah, blah, blah. Well, what does that mean? He loves me, but he's consorting with other people in the building, spreading this paranoia that if I come back from Toronto, that everybody's going to have to go into hiding or I should be quarantined at home for a couple of months because I'm going to have SARS.
He also called me a foul name in Spanish for narking him out.
I don't have SARS. I have scars, not SARS. I have scars from the abuse I'm taking from somebody that I thought was a close personal friend, somebody I could trust.
The unkindest cut of all.
The unkindest, what word did you say?
Cut.
Cut. Because if it would have been the other word, I would have said that would have been the appropriate word. But then Tom Jicka would have put it in the paper. 9:42 at 5:60. See you next time, Miguel. Next time I'm back there, and it'll be very soon. I'm going to sneak in, you know. I'm going to sneak in. I'm going to hide under the counter there.
Deep in the night.
That's right. And when some of these unsuspecting pussies in that building, wow.
Meow.
Just like A-Rod. Oh, A-Rod's trying to say, and they ripped him good in the papers here. Nice going, boys. They don't mince around here. Well, some of them do. They don't monkey around. They don't mince their words. They ripped him an ass for his aberrant behavior. And he was, you know something? A-Rod ought to work at QAM. He really would. I mean, they can't afford him, but he ought to work there. Because he'd fit in with that staff, with that cowardly staff. And Burt Lahr is going to play A-Rod in his biography.
Well, when he retires, we could hire him as a sales rep.
Yeah, that's right. He'd never show up anyway. Like Todd Dreck. Hey, listen, Mother's Day is a week from Sunday. It's just around the corner, so it's a perfect time to repay Mommy, who spent so many sleepless nights waiting for you to get home from your late-night excursions, out and about, doing whatever. Mommy. In fact, wouldn't it be great to wear a nice skin suit and nipple rings on Mother's Day?
Yes.
Dial Mattress has the perfect mattress for Mommy. If it's sagging, lumpy, or just worn out, and your mattress too, pick up the phone and do the same thing all us smart folks do, and make an easy purchase over the phone. 1-800-MATTRESS is the number to call for Dial Mattress. They got the complete line of Serta, Sealy, King Coral, and Simmons to choose from. You sure don't want Mommy sleeping on something that you wouldn't, so don't put it off another minute, because you're running out of time anyway if Mommy's coming to visit. Nothing's got a bigger impact on your life each and every day than getting a great night's sleep. I've done it many, many times, and you'll find it's a smart and easy way to shop. Just make that one phone call. Dial Mattress gets more repeat and referral customers than anybody because they know how to treat their customers right. I guarantee, I'll bet you Miguel's life on it again, that once you buy a mattress from Dial Mattress, you'll never go back to shopping in a showroom again and getting ripped off. And don't forget, when you do buy your mattress from Dial Mattress, they'll set up the new one and take away your smelly, crappy old bedding for free. That's right. Dial Mattress sets up the new and takes away the crappy, smelly, soiled, nasty, embarrassing old bedding for free. So this Mother's Day, have Mommy sleeping like a baby on her new bed from Dial Mattress. Gift certificates available in all denominations, too. In fact, maybe you and Mommy will have a nice like Elvis. If it was good enough for Elvis and Gladys, huh? I can just see you and Mommy on a big Serta mattress together. side by each. Call today, 1-800-MATTRES. That's 1-800-mattress for Dollar Mattress, the easy and intelligent way to get you a great night's sleep.
Live and local. This is 560.
The radio's all yours now.
QAM.
De testículos.
Hey, Miguel, you're an idiot.
Sister Jean, the dancing machine, a swinging nun with happy feet. Jump the jive into the beat. Sister Jean, the dancing machine. Sister Jean is making a scene. That ain't Catholic doctrine. For a gal who ain't too lean, she can shake that pasty meat.
She's quite a sight of black and white, looking like a real cool dancing fool. Look at her go, swinging high and low, with her boyfriend Father O'Toole.
Sister Jean, the dancing machine. Dancing ain't her only thing. She'll knock you off your feet when you hear her wail and sing.
I got a bad habit of jumping like a rabbit when the music turns me on. I know it sounds crappy, but I'm so goddamn happy that Cuban Kid is gone.
Yes. Sister Jean, a swinging nun, a shaking bouncing ton of fun. That ain't bad for 85, then that nun can really fly. Sister Jean, the dancing machine. 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 Sister Jean, the dancing machine.
I'm infectious. 9:48 at 560 WQM. Sister Jean retiring as Barry University's leader in June of 2004. She's still got a year to go. What's the big timid? She's got to announce it ahead of time? This summer, Sister Jean will celebrate the 58th anniversary of joining the religious life, a calling that's brought her from a teenage novice to the president of a thriving university. You think that she and Janet will hop in that red pickup truck and take off into the sunset?
What a road trip that would be.
Now, Sister Jean said she's ready for a new chapter. O'Loughlin, a trailblazing nun whose talents as educator, advocate, and leader have made her one of the Miami's most respected civic figures, will step down as president of Barry University in June of 2004, she announced yesterday. You think she was in the room when the abuelas were checking out Alion's unit?
Obviously not.
Oh, she don't want to see that. In fact, I see a lot of similarities between Donna Shalala and Sister Jean. In 22 years, O'Loughlin transformed Barry from a small, struggling college into a thriving university with more than 8,500 students, a law school, and a $22 million endowment. Now a long-planned retirement is in the works. Oh, I can only imagine. Can't you just see them driving up the old Hershey Highway together?
Right, fishing.
She nabbed her first $1 million donation for Barry on a bet 20 years ago, donning a white satin and a feather boa and belting out "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina" aboard a millionaire's yacht. On a $2 million dare, she learned ballroom dancing to become most likely the first Dominican nun to debut at the U.S. Ballroom Championships. Her tireless efforts and standard 16-hour days have not been limited to Barry's welfare. She's been a devoted civic champion fighting drugs, feeding the homeless, and promoting justice for immigrants and protection for children. Her work has netted dozens of accolades and awards, and after becoming entwined in the saga of rafter child Elian Gonzalez, a brush... Well, we don't want to go back into that again, because then Rick Sanchez will get on the phone and start screwing up with her life again. Hey, Sister Jean.
I'm infectious.
I just thought you ought to know that, okay?
Maybe she can cure you.
Maybe she can order an exorcism in her spare time now. Maybe she can get somebody who can come in and cure me.
Father O'Toole.
Yeah, he's got the magic touch. That's what he tells all the altar boys. He'd like to touch it. Hey, Miguel, I still would touch it, I'll tell you that, right now. But other than that, I just leave him high and dry. Well, high and moist.
He just popped in here.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Well, you better remind him that I was there for 2 weeks, two long weeks back in my...
I know, he's going to quarantine himself because we reminded him of that.
He's not going to quarantine himself. In fact, when I come back there, I'm going to have an extra chair in there, and he's going to sit in my lap. What are you laughing about? Huh?
As penance.
Oh, as penance, right. He's going to be sitting right on my lap every show. And I'm going to be breathing heavy. I'm going to be doing a lot of exhaling. Can't you just see that? I can envision it right now. I think that would be great radio.
Well, at least he thinks it's funny.
Who does?
Squirt.
Doesn't he still in there?
Yeah.
He used to be my buddy, Miguel. Now you turned on me like a rat. Ever since Doreen had that big spat with the Mo and got all that publicity on here, now he's just jealous. He just wants equal time with that bitch, with that fat-ass bitch. Plus, I'll tell you one thing, she brings... Huh? What did he just say? I thought he said the F word.
Sort of.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I'm
another
sure.
four-letter word, but it started
back
with an
at
L.
you, sweetheart. Back at you. See, another guy that thinks because he looks good, he thinks his stuff don't stink, he thinks he's hot stuff. Let me just tell you right now, you better you better get prepared. Well, I don't know. I'm not into that. Peter Clayton ain't around no more. But the fact of the matter is that we're going to be doing a Best of Neil, a 2-year compilation this summer.
2002 and 3, right.
Right, and because of the fact that we got the website, we can keep it up there all the time, and I'm sure that Eric will really put his head to the grindstone once he gets it out of his salami and cheese sandwich, and give us a lot of assistance, okay? So just, you guys be thinking about that right now, because I'm not backing out of this, and I want to do it again for Abandoned Pet Rescue.
Of course.
Because I'm not going to go out and get any more dogs, because I don't want any more dogs. It ties you down, and you can't go traipsing around the world getting all these diseases to bring back.
I got one too now, by the way.
A disease? A disease?
No, a little puppy. A Maltese.
Now, didn't you say my dog smelled bad?
Your dog stunk that day, man.
Yeah, see, I knew it was him. See, people think that I make these things up. I knew. It wasn't because he stunk. It's because he had that gunk in his ears, because he had ear infections, and they pack it. Okay, you ought to know about that. They pack it.
Rectum
his ears. Yeah. And my beautiful golden retriever, who was probably the sweetest dog that ever set foot on the face of the earth, and he's knocking my dog, knocking Winnie.
Miguel hurt Winnie's feelings.
Yeah, well, you know what I have to say.
It was a beautiful dog, though.
I say poo to you, okay? As in Winnie the... Do you know that Winnie the Pooh, Winnie was a real bear? Did you know that?
Yes.
And he was like there was a Canadian division in London during WW 1 or 2, I forget which. I think 1. And one of the soldiers, it was like their pet when it was like a little tiny bear. And then when then of course the soldier had to go off to war, and the bear was like, they got a PSA they keep running here. Like the guy that invented Superman, he was also Canadian. I've never seen so many people with a massive inferiority complex as the Canadians. They're great people except the French, but they just got this enormous inferiority complex. And just to show you they're not inferior, here's this story, which you'll find on our website today. Chrétien ready to ease pot possession law.
All right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
To show you that this country is light years ahead of you Yankees down there, man. I hate the Yankees. Oh, sorry, Joe Costello. Oh, Joe's still on that cruise?
Yes.
I'll be damned. Hey, listen, Miguel, don't get carried away, okay? Is he just taking over now? And this is the same Miguel, by the way. All this comes streaming back to me now.
He won't let me get the microphone back. He's huddling over me. He's invading my space.
Guess what? Beaner Boy's got it.
SARS?
You name it. He's got it. Anybody that sleeps outside under the overpass, can you imagine the disease-riddled body? And you already told me about that hickey on his neck that Duff gave him last week.
That's not a hickey. That's a chancre.
Is it really? Well, whatever the hell it is, okay? But what I'd be very concerned about is walking too close by Muff's office, from what I'm hearing. I wouldn't be hanging out near there. I'm just mentioning that, Miguel. I know you're a pussy. Can I get back to this story? What was I just about to say before?
I have no idea.
Oh, no, I was about to say when he filled in when you were on vacation, was it in the summertime?
I guess.
Peter Boy will remember. And he sat in your chair there and wouldn't say a goddamn word, left me hanging back when I was doing my bedtime stories, and pretended he enjoyed the bedtime stories, and then would tell you how he hated it. I mean, he happened to have been right. But nevertheless, I mean, there's another backstab. I got scars, man. No SARS, but just deep scars. I have wombs. I'm going to rewrite that Beach Boys song, In My Womb. Because I have battle scars from being stabbed so many times. Then, of course, we got certain other people.
I'm infectious.
Yeah, stabbing, trying to get everybody fired. You're going to be next, Miguel. He's going to try to get your ass fired if you stay on the show too long today. Your good buddy Mo, he won't be consorting with you anymore. You'll be on the same Schmidt list as Doreen. Same Schmidt list. You notice the kind of people that gravitate to Mo? He was talking about Todd Dreck was hanging out with him this morning, standing and looking in the window. In fact, if he stands in that control room and looks in there, the top of his head comes up to the bottom of that window. Todd Dreck. Chrétien ready to ease pot possession law in Canada, eh? Oh! Applause greets promise to youth. They showed clips of the speech last night. When he announced it, they all started applauding wildly. He says, don't get carried away. Don't start smoking it yet. It was cute in his obnoxious, froggy way. See, one thing about here is that, when they have the parliament meetings, they do the same thing that the Brits do, and somebody be up there speaking, whether it's Chrétien or whoever, and I don't know how they can hear anything anybody is saying, because you hear all this racket in the background. They're not just are they talking, they're screaming in the back. It's great. It's great. That's what we should have in the Congress of the U.S. instead of this, oh, we're so polite to each other. And the distinguished gentleman from South Carolina, the distinguished Nazi from wherever, you know. Pile of crap. Calling his government activist and not afraid to take on controversial issues, Prime Minister Jean Chrétien cast a nod at youth last night and vowed that marijuana would soon be decriminalized in Canada. Eh?
Oh!
It was and guess who's pissed off about it, I should point out.
I don't know, ours?
President Bush's drug czar, John Walters, has blamed Canadian growers and smugglers for the high-strength pot on U.S. streets. But the Canadian Medical Association and the Canadian Chiefs of Police both support decriminalization. How do you like that? Chrétien says that possessing small quantities, I think it's an ounce, will soon be decriminalized in Canada. Ounce should be enough for a start.
Sure, that will last me an
hour. We'll soon introduce legislation to decriminalize possession of small amounts of marijuana, he told a Liberal Party fundraiser. Amid applause, he quipped, don't start to smoke it right away. We're not legalizing it. Chrétien said that in his youth, marijuana wasn't known. I never tasted it, but he smoked cigarettes when his father told him not to. When he gave me permission at 16, I stopped. Youth today are charged criminally for possession of marijuana, but they're changing that. Here in Canada, they're light years ahead of the repressive USA that wants to put everybody in jail. We'll find something. You look at us cross-eyed, you're thinking about committing a crime. We don't like the way you're parted your hair today. We're going to throw your ass in jail. And those are the kind of right-wing fascists that people like Miguel and George Corso are in bed with. Although at least Miguel was smart enough to get one from Dial Mattress because they give it to him for free. Oh, I never gave the poll out yet, did I?
No, it's up
there. A bunch of votes on there, but I never gave it up. If the next presidential election was being held today, who would you vote for? George W. Bush, Howard Dean, Hillary Clinton, Ralph Nader, Bob Graham. That's who I voted for, Bob Graham. John Edwards, Drew Lieberman, John Kerry, Dick Gebhardt, or Jesse Ventura. I voted for BDR Governor Bob. I like Bob Graham.
I like him too.
He's all heart. 9:58 at 5. Oh, by the way, what's his name's getting a pacemaker? Fat Boy. That's the word we heard from Adam in sales this morning. Anybody cares about Jeff High? Fat Boy? Getting a pacemaker. So maybe he and Fat Rich can, compare notes. They can rub their pacemakers together. 9:59 at QM. You know, Mother's Day is next week, and the folks at Vermont Teddy Bear have been busy hand-making some great new bears for you. Your mom, wife, and grandmother deserve something extra special this year. Show them how much you appreciate them by sending an authentic Vermont Teddy Bear. She'll receive a beautiful bear personalized just for her and delivered with a free card and gourmet candy in a colorful gift box. They've got great bears like the Spa Ma Bear, Mom's biggest fan, or the new Queen for a Day Bear. Wouldn't you like to be Queen for a Day?
No.
How about Queen for a Lifetime? Dads, it's your job to get a gift from the kids, and the Mother and Cub set is a perfect idea. Add as many Cubs as you need with their names embroidered on the outfits, depending on how many kids you got. It's more creative and thoughtful than flowers and will last a lifetime other than flowers, which are dead in hours. Just call toll-free 1-800-829-BEAR, and a friendly bear counselor will help you tailor a bear just for her, so she'll know you put some real thought into your gift. It's about time. You won't believe the reaction you'll get. Ordering is quick and easy. Just call toll-free 1-800-829-BEAR or shop online at VermontTeddyBear.com. This year, thank Mom for all she does with a great gift, a bear from Vermont Teddy Bear. Tom Neal told you to call 1-800-829-BEAR.
We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
It's Dave in Miami town at 560 WQAM.
I'm infectious.
I was on my way to work in the snowing, not knowing below there in the snow was lots of ice. So I kept right on a strolling, and lo and beholding, I slipped and cracked my head, and then I died. But I left you with a diet, so try it, you'll like it. And just one other thing I might advise: watch your step, in case they frozen ice up ahead, so you don't crack open your head. And diet doesn't matter when you take.
Poor Dr. Bob. He's still dead. You hear about that?
That he died?
10:03 at 560 WQM. You know, what's really ironic about this whole Miguel business, I'm sure he's not the only one in that building, but people who consider themselves so macho, that's what really is amusing to me. Back right after 9/11, there were certain ones of us who had no compunction. I'm not going to say none, but we weren't like so pussified that we stopped flying. In fact, I signed this deal for them to build me the studios here in Amsterdam, shortly after that.
Right.
Remember it?
Mm-hmm.
On a November day, and I flew up here because I had to rent me an apartment. And it was in November, so let's see, it was like less than 2 months after 9/11. And I have other gay friends, those who are supposed to be sissified, those of us who are flying to Amsterdam, all over the world. And, back in those days, you'd look around at the other people on the plane. I remember talking about it. But a lot of these macho guys, oh, my God, he's infectious. We got to put him on quarantine. We're not going to fly because our plane's going to get hijacked. And then also, speaking of Todd Dreck, remember when we talked about him getting his blood test because he was all freaking out about his cholesterol and this and that, and he wouldn't go get his blood test because he's afraid of the needle. He's afraid of the little needle. Yeah, he's afraid it'll get a little prick. Right. Ought to be scared to death of me in that case.
Well, he's in good company.
Pussy, man. A-Rod, big macho baseball player. I'm going to be staying in a hotel a lot. You'll find me in my room with Brian Wilson and his teddy bear. Because he's afraid he's going to catch something. In the meantime, the Kansas City Royals have just been here for a weekend series, and in spite of all the warnings from Major League Baseball and Bud Selig, who's a moron, they were around town. They had a good time. No problem. People who are just scared of life, they just slay me. Well, what's the point? Why not just blow your brains out? They don't have to be afraid of nothing. Well, that's right. They're afraid of the consequences afterward. I'm sorry. They're afraid of what happens on the other side. Speaking of what I was just talking about, keep gays out of baseball, Rockies player says. Colorado Rockies reliever Todd Jones has caused a furor, saying gay players should not be allowed in Major League Baseball. I wouldn't want a gay guy being around me, Jones told the Denver Post. I hate to break the news to you, Todd, but I guarantee you, I'd bet Miguel's life on it. You got some. It's got nothing to do with me being scared, he says. That's the problem. All these people say he's got all these rights. Yeah, he's got rights or whatever, but he shouldn't walk around proud. It's like he's rubbing it in our face. What a line! It's like he's rubbing it in our face. See me, hear me roar. Oh, like Helen Reddy, huh? We're not trying to be closed-minded, but then again, why be confrontational when you don't really have to be? I don't know any gay baseball players that are running around being confrontational. Do you?
No, none.
I think there are a lot of them running around deep in the closet. That's what Steve Stone said. The National League player also said that if a gay player is allowed on a team, he better be good, because if the team thinks for 1 minute he's disrupting the clubhouse, if he doesn't hit 50 homers or win 20 games, they're not going to put up with that. So in other words, it's okay and he's safe if he's a great player, but if he turns out to be a turd-burger of a player, they're not going to put up with that. Is that incredible?
No, it's very credible.
The tirade was prompted by a reporter's question about the Broadway play Take Me Out, in which a Major League Baseball player announces that he's gay. This is just more evidence that anti-gay prejudice is out of control in national sports, said David Smith, spokesperson for the Human Rights Campaign, the largest gay rights organization in the country. The commissioners of all the national sports leagues, baseball, football, and basketball, need to immediately address homophobia, Smith said. The Rockies went into immediate damage control after the article appeared. The team posted a message on its website saying the Rockies do not share Jones' views, opinions, or attitudes. As an organization and part of this community, we are committed to providing an environment for our employees and fans that's free of discrimination and prejudice regardless of race, color, sex, religion, national what is that? National origin, I think is what they mean, but it says national orientation.
Yeah, I'm oriented towards Canada.
Age, disability, or status as a veteran, team president Kelly McGregor said in a statement. There has been no comment. No, actually, it is, that's right, national orientation. There is no such thing. National origin is what they... Well, it's illiterate. What do you want from a bunch of dumb jocks anyway? It's illiterate. And by the way, Todd, I got a message for you.
I'm infectious!
Yeah. How do you like that? I got it. Whatever it is, you pick it, I got it. And I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to breathe on you. I'm going to rub it in your nose. Here's our poll so far today, and I apologize for being so long-winded and taking so long. Don't I apologize?
No.
No, that's because Beaner Boy threw me off my appointed rounds here.
Sorry.
It was intentional. You're not fooling me. It was probably Miguel put you up to it. All you spicks stick together. 120 votes. The next presidential election... I beg your pardon?
What a great product. Spick sticks.
What is it? The next presidential election, if it were being held today, who would you vote for? And this, I mean, granted, you can't have all these people running at once, but it's just for the hell of it. We got a year and a half to go until we get rid of this bozo. I mean, until 128 votes. Bob Graham, 43. That was my vote.
Oh!
Nice going, Governor Bob. We love you. I mean, we don't love you, but compared to what we got. Jesse Ventura's got 28. George W. Bush, 20, 15.6%. Not too thrilling. Hillary Clinton, 12, 9.3%. Howard Dean, 10. John Kerry, 6. Ralph Nader, 4. Dick Ebhart, 3. 3 people like Dick. John Edwards, 2. And Jew Lieberman has got the big 0.
Oi!
Yeah, they're on to him. They are on to him. So we're ordering an immediate quarantine on anybody in the building who you think might be diseased. Like, Mo won't be able to come in. Didn't I tell you yesterday? I was psychic. They should have built a studio for him in Boca.
Right.
So number one, he doesn't have to come in and depress everybody by his presence. He doesn't have to come in and terrorize the people who work with him on that morning show. And number three, he doesn't have to spread any kind of diseases might be growing in his bag and his piece. I think that's all the more good reasons. In fact, you know who they could send to his house to build a studio in his home?
No, I know.
George Corso would be good. They'd get along real good together. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Got a lot of stuff here today, but let's get a whole bunch of calls in here, okay? For all you people that want to rip Miguel and ass, or maybe you agree with Miguel. Maybe you're afraid that I shouldn't come back to town at all.
None of you Canucks.
Huh?
None of you Canucks.
Yeah, none of us Canucks can come back to America because, well, first of all, that war thing, you know?
Right.
You're either with us or against us, and we just didn't want to jump on a bandwagon. Let me ask you this question. Have we found any weapons of mass...
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, and you know that Catholic church that they set on fire in New England yesterday?
Right.
They said after the fire they found weapons of mass destruction. 5670. Now, who's that on a bat line? WQAM bat line.
Is George there?
Who's this?
It's Dave Johnson.
Dave?
Hey,
You're not supposed to be on till tomorrow, Dave. I'm not ready for you today.
That's fine. I just wanted to check some time.
This is like verbal foreplay we're doing here today.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm in Toronto, and of course I'm spreading disease all over the place.
You got that mask on?
I got it on. In fact, I got the Zorro mask on right now.
Okay. Well, wear it when you make your pick tonight, okay?
Oh, I'm going to work on it feverishly tonight, and my pick too.
Okay. What time do you want me to call tomorrow?
What time would be convenient for you? A gentleman like you doesn't. We don't tell you when to call. You tell us when to call, and we'll be delighted to speak with you.
I'll talk to you at 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock would be great. And best regards from your close personal friend, Mo Howard David, by the way.
Okay.
In fact, I'm sure he'll be listening with bated breath.
Talk to you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, Dave. Thanks.
Bye.
Okay. There's a little preview. Dave Johnson, our annual Kentucky Derby pick. He's great.
Yeah.
He's not Hispanic, by the way. George, you're wrong about that. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Jackpot! Excellent. Hit the jackpot right off the bat. I bet you if I want to even outdo that, I can do line 9. You watch. WQAM.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to talk about good-looking guys for a minute.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think about Brian Greasy?
Ugly. He's
Even
just,
with the helmet
in fact,
on?
he looks, I beg your pardon?
Even with the helmet on?
A helmet and a SARS mask still wouldn't help.
I don't know. There's something about him that I like. I don't know.
Really? What's that? Is it his...
Rectum.
He is grotesque. Come on, you know that his daddy was ugly and he looks just like daddy.
No, his dad was, but I don't know.
And in fact, you know something about Brian? I've told this before when I was doing U of M baseball. One year we did on Channel 33. I did a play-by-play and Bob Greasy did the color with me. And he used to bring Brian, who back in those days was like a 9 or 10-year-old little punky kid. And Brian looked the same then, basically, as he does now. He was just as ugly as a kid as he is now.
Well, he liked to hang around with the guys at Columbus High School, I guess.
Did he really? I'll tell you one thing. He sure be a good choice for the Dolphins as a backup. You know, in fact, I'd like to see him start. Not that I like the Dolphins.
Yeah, he would. I was listening to the Big O last night, and he was poo-pooing it.
Oh! Was he really? Well, you know something? That's probably all the more reason it is a good idea, because the Big O knows absolutely nothing about sports, so that's a great idea.
Someone called up and mentioned your name yesterday. He got all flustered.
Who did?
Some caller did, and on the Big O show, and mentioned your name. And
he got flustered? Oh, he's probably another one that's all worried I'm going to bring him. So I'm going to breathe all over him when I come back. Have a great day, Pally.
See you, Neil.
And give Brian a big kiss for us.
Will do.
Okay.
I went to a whole bunch of classes. I had a whole bunch of classes with Brian Greasy in Columbus.
He's ugly.
Yeah.
He was a nice kid. He was very quiet.
Yeah, he's really quiet.
Huh?
He's really quiet, really smart guy.
Right. He was quiet. He was intelligent, like his dad. Although his dad, Bob's kind of strange, you know. In fact, ask the Mad Dog. Bob was an outstanding athlete, but he was strange. In fact, working with him on the baseball games, he was kind of strange. He just, never had anything to say. Maybe he and I just didn't have a lot in common.
Could be.
No, you ask Mandich, he'll tell you, because I know he shares my feeling about Bob Greasy. Bob's just a little bit off. Now, what is this? Why did you do this to me? Why did you send me a thing here from the Sun Sentinel by Michael Mayo, no less, about Steve Kane, about Mr. Ego?
Just to keep you up to date.
Ah, jeez. The bombastic conservative radio host and member of the school board's diversity committee hates the euphemism the N-word. He prefers using the actual word, which is exactly what he did the other day during a debate with me in front of 100 students at Deerfield Beach High. The context wasn't hateful or insulting, but considering where we were and where he sits, it was pretty down thoughtless, needless, and insensitive. Kane, who is white, was trying to register his displeasure with the evil liberal media's use of the term right-wing. For some reason, he sees that as a pejorative, comparing it to being called, well, the N-word, the mother of all racial epithets, nigger. An assistant principal, Wade Edmonds, stood up and protested Kane's language. Edmund is black. They got into it a little bit, and after Kane casually used the word a couple more times, Edmund left the room. Some students, black and white, also voiced concerns. Kane asked why they were so upset, considering they probably hear the word every day. Why do you give such power to a word, he said. Then why do you give such power to words like right-wing, a girl shot back? Why do you let that bother you? Touché, says Michael Mayo. Somehow a 90-minute program that was supposed to be about affirmative action had veered into this. Bye-bye thoughtful debate, hello controversy, which I think is exactly what Kane wanted, which is why I wasn't going to write about it, but then my phone rang on Wednesday. People are buzzing about this, John Blackwell, 35 cents. Well, you see, you shouldn't have written about it, Michael Mayo, but you did anyway because you gave him just what he wanted, some free publicity. That's all he wanted. And by the way, he's got like fractions, WNMA. I have to correct what I said before. Tiny, teeny little fractions. When the ratings come out, we got all those numbers now, you could put their audience into a phone booth and have room left over. But Michael Mayo feels compelled. The spirit of Moses compelled him to write about Mr. Ego.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Infectious!
Well, congratulations. Get a life.
God, that promo was long, ponderous, and really boring. Man, promos keep getting longer and longer. Did you like it? Hated it.
Miami has the Dolphins. They're the worst football team.
Yes.
They flub the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen.
All right.
They're on the ground. That's where they'll stay. They're never in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking toilet bowl, 'cause they're the Miami Dolphins.
How about those Ducks?
Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number. How many teams in the league?
32.
Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Don't bet on them, you'll always lose. They don't know how to tackle. They don't know how to block. Their coaches ought to tell them to put Bengay in their jocks.
Yes.
Then they would run much faster, and even in defeat. When we go to the stadium, we'll see Miami Heat, and they're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number. How many teams in the league?
About 30, man.
Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. The team that hasn't got a clue. Miami has the Dolphins, but the Dolphins have no fans. Just 50,000 assholes sitting in the stands. They watch the game and all they do is moan and gripe and bitch. I wonder how Joe Robbie got to be so goddamn rich. And they're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number. How many teams in the league?
32.
Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. I hear the crowd begin to boo. The Dolphins have Jay Fiedler. That quarterback's a Jew. Run down the field and he will throw a pass over you. He'll never win a Super Bowl. You shouldn't be surprised. When he gets cut, that doesn't mean that he was circumcised. And they're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number. How many teams in the league?
About 30, man.
Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Jay calls his signals in Hebrew. The Dolphins have no defense and their offense is a joke. Like George Bush eating pretzels, you know they're gonna choke. They'll always disappoint you when they're in a playoff race, with fewer points than pockmarks on Huizinga's ugly face. And they're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number. Oh, what the hell? 32. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins, now they're through.
10:21, here's a fax from Andy in Miami who says, Neil, did somebody pee on your transmitter? No, Andy, that's the problem. Nobody peed on it, and that's what we need. We need to have George Corso and Bob Vermouth go out there hand in hand and pee on the transmitter. It says, all week long, your signal's been fading in and out. It's driving me nuts. Why can't you be on... Oh, that's because of the weather probably, right? Because of the rain?
Yeah, sure, let's use that.
Raining and cloudy and a couple of birds took a dump. That's all it takes when you're on AM, especially with our crappy signal. And now that Julio's left, we don't have an engineer that knows his ass from your elbow. It says, why can't you be on Power 96 from 10 to 2? The punky kids who listen in school anyway, supposedly. Keep up the good work, says Andy in Miami. Thank you, Andy. And we should be on Power 96. We should be on a real FM station. Can you imagine? How do we get these numbers on a station that nobody can hear? That's the real mystery, you know?
Yeah.
Not to pat ourselves on the backs again and get that chiropractor in here like Mo was doing about his charitable work yesterday. God almighty. What a self-aggrandizing old fart he is. 5670560. We're talking about great-looking athletes today. Did you know that was going to be the topic?
I had no idea.
Neither did I. Now, watch this poll here very carefully,
yeah, I'm
okay?
watching it.
194 votes. If the next presidential election were being held today, who would you be voting for? Bob Graham, 58. Jesse Ventura, 43. George W. Bush, 36, up to now 18.5%. Hillary Clinton, 20. Howard Dean, 15. John Kerry, 9. Dick Gephardt, 6. Ralph Nader, 5. John Edwards, 2. And Jew Lieberman still don't have any. I think we chased away all the Jews. You know, I talked about the Dachau Deli the other day in that old bag. I think the only Jews we got left is Jeff Cohen, Woody Graber, and who else?
I think that's it.
And Rich Pachter.
Right.
And Fat Rich. That's it. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T.
Your mom.
No, she ain't listening. She only listens when you're on. So
Great.
Bitch about it. WQAM. QAM. Nobody there. What a shame. You know, nobody's going to touch Tommy Brady if we took a poll on the best-looking athlete. Plus, that would be kind of like a homoerotic kind of a poll anyway. You can get that picture from Colorado all upset, too. WQAM.
Neil, I have 4 words for you. You work better alone.
Nah, I got 3 words for you. You are boring, man. Those are the 3 words. You are ponderous. Take whichever 3 you like, okay? Because they all apply. Boring and ponderous, with nothing to say. WQAM. QAM.
Yeah, can I talk to Neil?
Speaking.
Hey, Neil, how's it going?
Okay.
Maricon.
Okay. So your people are worked up into a frenzy. Probably Miguel is the one to turn these people on to the number.
I think that was Miguel.
That was him doing a voice. Back at you, Bulgaron. WQAM.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to talk about the constant degrading of Mo Howard David and Reverend Jones, please.
Yeah, okay, great.
Oh.
Reverend Jones
3
again.
for
They're
3.
they're out there today, baby. Let's hear it. Jackpot day. Yeah. It's the day for the jackpot. That's okay. Jackpot rhymes with crackpot. Remember that awful show with Jeff Edwards, Jackpot, where he used to wear that leather jacket?
Also rhymes with smoke pot.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you come to Canada, you can smoke pot, okay?
Right there.
So that's the point. You want me to come down and bring you some good crap? I mean, do you want me to come down?
No, I'll go up and get my SARS
and give all that disease out, which Miguel and George Corso and certain others. I want some more names, okay? Because evidently if this was discussed in a meeting in the radio, I mean, that in itself, there's a story. In fact, if Michael Mayo wants to write a story, or Tom Jicker, or any of these people, Kevin Baxter when he's not being a sports expert, there's a story. Staff at QAM concerned that Rogers might bring SARS back with him from Toronto, wants to quarantine the Queen.
Unclean Queen.
Yeah. Quarantine the unclean Queen.
Typhoid fairy.
Man, that sounds pretty mean.
You're a carrier.
I thought they made air conditioners. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T. How's the poll coming out? Keep your eye on it real closely. Bob Graham, 65. We're held in a presidential election right now, 217 vote. Graham, 65. Jesse Ventura, 51. George W. Bush, 38, 17.5%. Hillary Clinton, 21. Clinton. Howard Dean, 16. John Kerry, 10. Dick Gephardt, 6. Ralph Nader 5, John Edwards 3, and Jew Lieberman's got a pair.
Boy!
They're tiny, but he is circumcised. He's not too circumspect, but he is circumcised. You know something? He'd be the last one I'd vote for.
Even?
Yes.
Oh.
That's right.
What a...
Because I think he'd be worse.
Wow.
I think he's worse. He's more dangerous. What have I always told you about the ultra-Orthodox Jews? Have I always told you that?
He's going to call back again, that lady.
Good. And like I told you the other day, honey, Katsachois, okay, do a good job. When in doubt, clean it out. 1027 at 560 WQAM. Speaking of cleaning it out, Delights of West Boca, your superstore for the Atkins diet, or all the other low-carb, sugar-free diets around, is introducing some great new stuff. Their new almond snack cakes by Control Carb are in right now. They come in blueberry, banana, or classic almond. Each serving is only 1 effective gram of carbs, or sample Delight's new chocolate raspberry muffin with only 1 gram of carbs. And if you like something to crunch on, then try one of their 3 new flavors of low-carb racket chips. So whether it's Carbolite ice cream, breads, rolls, cheesecakes, chocolates, pasta, and great low-carb pasta sauces, or any of the other 600 low-carb foods, Delights of West Boca is a store I guarantee you're going to love if you're a dieter. You can always sample before you buy, too. They got a staff that knows Atkins and the other diets inside and out. They're open every day, 7 days a week, 10 to 10. And at Delights, they carry the most complete line of Atkins brands products that are always 25% off all day, every day, even on Shavuos. The Atkins diet is rated #1, so head to the #1 low-carb, sugar-free store in the University, Delights of West Boca, and you'll find them on the northeast corner of Glades and 441 right next to Boston Market, or call them toll-free at 1-877-LOW-CARB, or check them out on the web at lowcarb.com. Don't forget there's only one Delights of West Boca, and it is your official Atkins Retail Center.
Live and local. We're Sports Radio 560 QAM. How about the Nikes?
Blinded by the ride, bamboozled by douchebags, the pasty moral right. Blinded by the ride, I felt like a douchebag because I knew they weren't right. I know you may not understand what I did or who I am. Most of you don't read any books. So let me introduce myself. I was a well-respected, hard-right man and trusted by high-level schnooks. I used to have a powerful Republican position, high up on a moral ground. The holy Christians were insistent that I discredit Clinton with any means that could be found. Since then I had a nervous breakdown, cause I was blinded by the ride. Bamboozled by douchebags, the moral pasty ride. Blinded by the ride, I felt like a douchebag because I knew they were right. I had admission to the parties thrown by moralistic Christians and crawling there naked on the rug. Was anorexic pundit sister and culture raising blisters, giving power balls a tug. My job was to alter news to a right-wing point of view. Feeble minds are easy to sway. And now the hatred that I spewed about minorities and banker Jews make me want to puke today. I couldn't even say I was gay, cause I was blinded by the right. Bamboozled by douchebags, the pasty moral right. Blinded by the right. There was Aunt Coulter, she was naked on all fours with 2 guys taking her doggy style.
Another trained monkey.
1032 at 560 WQAM. You know who we left off? Well, you already do because you sent me this fax.
Yes.
How can we do that? The Ryman Reverend Al Sharpton. Get him on there, Eric, please. Al Sharpton. He's running. Well, he's thinking about it.
At least if he does.
Al Sharpton. Get him on there. Somebody will vote for him. Somebody who doesn't know better. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Remember before the show you said you were seeing a bunch of pictures, people rioting and out of control on TV?
Right. Puerto Rico.
Are you sure it was Puerto Rico?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Because they're also rioting in Berlin.
Uh-oh.
People at a Berlin rock concert fought with police as May Day began with violent confrontation ahead of protest marches all across Europe. Hundreds of masked youth smashed shop windows and overturned cars in the Prenzlauer Berg district of the city overnight into it today. Police said rioters threw stones and bottles at them. They reported injuries to 29 officers, one seriously, and 97 arrests. There was no word on civilian injuries. The concert was part of May Day celebrations, which saw security stepped up in all the major European capitals as tens of thousands of people, peace and labor activists, prepared to march. Large demonstrations are expected today in Berlin, Paris, Rome, London, Athens, and Madrid, with protests against the U.S.-led war in Iraq alongside traditional trade union demands for workers' rights, etc. There you go. They're rioting. Are they shouting in Atlanta?
I'll go check.
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. By the way, Corso, instead of running around worrying so much about whether I'm going to bring disease back to South Florida, it would seem to me that maybe you and some of your engineering cohorts, now that we got the only real engineer in the place, Julio, out of there, would like work on line 5 and get our phones back to working the way they should be. Yeah, that would be a good priority. No. Instead of spreading a lot of fear and paranoia around the building, a lot of stupidity, which is your specialty, George. Corso, that is. WQAM.
George?
Yes.
Hi, I want to weigh in on the best-looking athlete.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, Anna Kournikova, of course, and in the male department, I guess Tiger Woods. He gets all the white chicks.
Tiger, wait a minute, because he gets all the white chicks, that means he's good-looking?
No, but I mean, that justifies my voting for a male, good-looking male.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Anna Kournikova and Tiger Woods. Oh, brother. Well, Anna, of course, we get no arguments there.
No.
From a lot of the guys that are wishing that she's really what they think. Well, they don't care what she is. They just like her a lot.
What she is.
I'm not talking about you. The guy that called before is right. I work better alone. You know, we already know your feelings on this topic, okay? Stop being so defensive. Every time I mention Anna Kournikova, it's back to the same thing. Well, I don't care what she is. Maybe she's a... We already know that, okay? Don't restate the obvious. Right, Beaner Boy?
Right.
Tom, don't restate the obvious. We know that. That would be like my saying, oh, Tom Brady's really hot. Well, everybody knows that he is, and plus I think that. And he is. You know? Even George would agree with that.
What?
Oh, God. Everybody I know, even a macho Wolverine like Mad Dog.
He's a very handsome young man. Who can't see that?
Right. There you go. It's simple. It's simple. There's nothing complicated about it. We're not going to go tell Miguel on you, because then he'll get all upset and think you're not as macho as he thought you were before.
He is a stud.
See? Is he talking about Miguel or Tom Brady? 5670560. How do we get started with good-looking athletes? Well, that one guy called about Brian Greasy, which I think is really outrageous. I mean, again, we can't all be beautiful. I'm certainly not. I'm as grotesque as they come. And then you got Mo, who thinks... See, that's the thing that kills me. People who are gross and they think they're good-looking. That's what kills me, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like Mo, he's a good example of that. And we have some other people around the building. We got this Beaner Boy who thinks he's a hot number, a hot tamale.
What do you mean thinks?
He said he couldn't get laid with George's penis at Treasure Island last night. That's what he told me.
I said I wouldn't want to have gotten laid with George's penis.
Oh, is that what you said? That's what his wife says all the time, too. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. I wonder what Randy would think of that. Oh, here's that special. Here's our favorite line 9, WQAM. Hello. Nobody on there. Told you it was going to be different, didn't I?
No.
Never disappoint on line 9. WQAM. Hello.
Hey, good morning. Is this Neil?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Neil. Do us a favor. Stay up there. This year and a half before we take over another 4 years. So take that, you leftist liberal.
Okay, great. There he is. That's the leftist liberal guy again. But at least he had a few more words this time. Very good. Keep working on it, pal. Maybe it'll grow a little bit. I doubt it. He's still working on it. You leftist liberal. How's Georgie Porgy doing on the poll, by the way? 16.9%. Not exactly overwhelming in this crowd. Out of 254 votes in about 40 minutes. Pretty heavy-duty response here. If the presidential election were being held right now, who would you vote for? Bob Graham, 76. Jesse Ventura, 55. George W. Bush, 43. 16.9%. It just changed again, damn it. Like I said, 16.8%. Hillary Clinton, 31. Howard Dean, 20. Jimmy Dean's got a couple. See, he's getting more popular now. He's eating that Jew food. John Kerry 17, Ralph Nader 7, Dick Hebhart 6, Jew Lieberman's all the way up to 3, John Edwards got 3, and we just stuck Al Sharpton on there. We just stuck him. You know, that Michael Mayo thing about Mr. Ego, that is so... First of all, why would Michael Mayo debate Steve Kane on anything? Why would he debase himself to do such a thing? And please don't tell me, oh, well, he invited him. All he would have to do is politely decline, right? Wouldn't that be the sensible thing to do?
I only sent you the first page. There's a whole other page to that story.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Please tell me no.
Sorry.
I know you'd rather be back on the sports section, Mike Mayo, which you didn't do all that great there, but you sure were a lot less dangerous on the sports pages. But this swill that you're writing now, man, it just ain't you. Just ain't you, Mike. Wasting your time writing about light bulb radio. Jerry Williams died, a great broadcaster who used to have... And you know the interesting part about this? What a great segue, Neil. Thank you. You're welcome. Guess who replaced Jerry Williams eventually in the afternoon after he left to go back to Boston in 1981?
Which station?
WNWS. 3 to 7. 3 to 6. Huh?
Sandy Payton.
No.
I give up.
Just tell me what your problem is.
Mr. Ego. So you see how timely it is? And a great broadcaster like Jerry Williams, who was a talk radio genius and pioneer and really respected by the people in the industry and had gigantic ratings everywhere he went, including in the South Florida market. He gets an obituary that doesn't even recognize by some AP writer in the Sun Sentinel. Mike Mayo doesn't write about that. No. Instead, he writes some stupid-ass publicity puff piece about Mr. Ego using the N-word at some debate that he shouldn't have been at in the first place. At least Mike Mayo shouldn't. Why do you debase yourself, Mike? What's wrong with... Oh, but he's the other Jew that's listening, Mike Mayo.
Oi!
He listens religiously, if I can say that.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Freak.
What's Gary Hart doing tonight?
Inquiring minds want to know.
That's why inquiring minds read the Miami Herald. Is Maurice Ferre really having sex with an alien from outer space?
It's in the Herald.
Is Paula Hawkins the true mother of the Elephant Man?
It's in the Herald.
Is John Kennedy sleeping with Max Headroom?
It's in the Herald.
Is Tim Baker about to give birth to Jerry Falwell's baby?
It's in the Herald.
Sex, 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 more hot sex!
Oh, it's in the Herald.
Plus Gary Hart's amazing rice diet from Florida. A crossword puzzle that has no answers. Our own Pulitzer Prizes just for us.
Ed Pope's love letters to Neil Rogers.
And we're so sorry, Uncle Albert, but we haven't heard a bloody thing all day. Mindless, babbling rhetoric.
It's all in the latest issue of
the Miami Herald. Available at supermarket checkout counters everywhere. And where finer manure is spread.
10:43 at 560 WQAM. Two of the crappiest newspapers in the universe, the Sun Sentinel and the Herald. And in a perfect place for it, too. Well, you got a lot of fishermen down there, right? So there's probably a lot of fish to wrap.
Right.
A lot of birds. A lot of bird droppings. Anyway, the big story at WIOD and the nighttime slot, I was going to say Phil.
Are you sure?
But it wasn't. He had one good hour in there, kind of like Mo. Although I don't know if I want to say that, but I just did, didn't I? Yeah. He had one good hour in there, and that was his, where is it? His 7 o'clock hour. First hour, 5.7 share at night in men. But then it goes down to a 3.4 at 8 o'clock, and at 9 o'clock down to a 2.9. Wow. One big hour. I don't understand that, do you?
No, I don't.
But then, at 10 o'clock, what's the guy's name? Nudnik?
Nori.
George Nudnik? 3-7 at 10. All is up almost a point from the 9 o'clock. And then the big hour at night, on the 7 to midnight, is 11 to midnight, 6.4 share on IOD, on George Nuri. For the Art Bell crowd. Like a little Beaner boy in there, he listens to it.
Got no choice.
What do you mean by that?
All I get is AM. I don't have a car stereo.
Why not?
Or a tape deck. Because I'm poor.
George hasn't fixed you up with a great car stereo yet?
I don't even have AC in that car.
Oh my God, he's not paying car payments for you for a nice little, what?
I can't afford my own, I'm gonna make his.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, of course.
I know that. Why the hell do you think I'm staying out of town as much as I can?
I know your address.
Every time I'm in town, I gotta pay everybody else's bills. I'm the grandfather of the universe, man. I'm paying the whole world's bills. That's me. That's the story of my life. I could have retired 10 years ago.
Thanks, Gramps.
But not me. Yeah, I gotta pay everybody else's life. And wouldn't mind so much if it wouldn't have been for Mitch Hirsch. But anyway, so George Nuri, now, is he just doing the same Art Bell thing with the talking to lifeless trailer trash?
Yes.
Yeah? About spaceships and...
Shadow people and chupacabras and...
Oh, I bet you Miguel listens to that. I will bet you your life on it that Miguel listens to the chupacabra guy. And guess who's going to be sitting next to me on the plane when I come back from Toronto?
George Norrie?
The Chupacabra.
I think they caught one in South America.
I'm going to smuggle them in. How do you like that? Right next to that pound I'm bringing in, that brick.
Oh, thank you. Finally.
Yeah. I'm not bringing you back squat. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. The best-looking athletes in sports. I have no idea where this came from. Administration appeals for Under God in the Pledge of Allegiance. We'll get to that. Record industry warning to pop up. All you people stealing that music, better watch it. Vilified weapons inspectors may have gotten it right. That's what Condoleezza's saying now. How do you like that? She says, guess what? What weapons of mass destruction? What are you talking about? Bush tries to weaken tobacco treaty. That's being signed by more than 160 other nations. But Michigan man sues McDonald's after finding chewing gum in his salad. Remember that song by, what was his name? He died, Lonnie Donegan?
No.
Does your chewing gum lose its flavor on your salad overnight?
That's who did that?
Lonnie Donegan, he's dead. Does your chewing gum lose its flavor in your salad overnight? You remember that?
I thought it was bedpost, but what do I know?
It was... You know what? I'm going to let you two guys do the show.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I'm just going to let the two of you guys, because you're both so off today. I think there's a disease in that building is what it is.
Yes.
As usual.
And I guarantee you, Miguel, if I was him, which I wish I was, to be honest with you, at least from the... Huh?
Yeah.
At least from the top of the head down. You know, I'd prefer to keep my brain. But if I was him, I'd be a lot more concerned about catching something from the corporate disease in that building, which is a filthy mess. There's fleas flying around in there. Miguel, little Beaner Boy yesterday had to pick off dozens of fleas from that place. He's got scabies. He's got that big lump on his neck from backing him up against the wall the other day. All kind of grotesque corporate diseases going around. There's all kinds of incestuous relationships in that building. And Miguel and Corso and a bunch of unnamed other ones are worried I'm going to bring SARS back from Toronto. Oh, my God, am I wounded, huh? And you know what thick skin I got. Takes a hell of a lot to wound my ego, but my God. People having meetings in the building worried about should we quarantine the Queen when he comes back from Toronto because they got that disease up there. What a bunch of pussies, man. If you drive by the Dade-Broward line on 441 and you hear those meowing sounds, that'll be most of the staff at QAM doing that pussified crap they do, making meowing sounds. And I'll tell you one more thing. If I'm supposed to be so dangerous and unsanitary, there's a certain receptionist who sits out front, I don't want to mention Freaky Carlos, with his 75 piercings. I had to be careful what I said.
Yeah, careful.
With his penis rings and testicle rings and nipple rings and... his
rectum
rings,
bells on his fingers and rings.
Yeah,
on his...
bells on his toes and things up his nose. I don't want to say what they are. And this is a guy who goes in the tea room there and pees all over the wall in every place because he's got all these penis. You know what I'm saying is true.
Of course.
Leaves a puddle. I guarantee you, Lake Ontario's got nothing on the puddle he leaves on the flow in there. Even Mo, when he first came there, couldn't believe it. So what's on the flow, Mo? Next to your hairpiece. Oh, can you imagine if that thing dropped in there after
no.
After Freaky Carlos was in there, that thing would just swim away. Remember that song? A swim away, a swim away. I can see it now. There goes Mo's hairpiece swimming right down the old pee puddle. And then you got Fat Boy, who when he isn't in the hospital getting his body parts replaced, he's busy splatting all over the wall, but I'm the one they got to worry about. Right. In fact, there's only one thing I'm going to bring back to that station when I come. I'm going to buy it at Walgreens right on the corner there.
What's that?
I'm going to buy a big, giant, economy-size can of Listerine and put it right on Hank's counter when I see Hank the next time. So he can scrub the toilet seat with it to make sure he doesn't catch no cooties from me. And I avoid like the plague. I really have to go real bad if I take a dump in that place.
Yeah, because you don't want booty cooties.
Ooh, man, that is the worst. Especially when Fat Boy was once in there. Oh. And then knowing that Greg now doesn't Greg have his own executive washroom in his office? I'm sure he does.
Yes, he does.
All GMs do. In fact, that was one of my great perks at IOD. Huh?
Right.
Was every now and then I get to use the executive toilet.
Right.
Oh, that was really something. And you talk about disease. Can you imagine the stuff that was floating around in that room?
That's my opinion. I'm Mike Disney.
Yeah, you can only begin to imagine. Just the stuff that came out of Steve Nichols' nose.
Stuff came out of it?
Well, what goes in must come out.
I see.
Or is it the other way around? What goes out? 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Hot athletes, that's what we're talking about today. We evolved into this, okay? The guy that thought that he wanted to do Brian Greasy. He wanted to grease them all up with Wesson oil and do him and Florence Henderson side by each.
We should probably put Mo's pick on there.
You guys are a bunch of bloody magicians. I beg your pardon?
Because wasn't he talking one morning, Mo, about how hot one of the Williams sisters was?
Serena.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's obsessed with Serena Williams, allegedly. And, of course, both the Williams sisters, in my book, look like crap.
They're scary, downright.
Now, who was I watching this morning that I told you was just unbelievable looking? What was I? Oh, what's her name? Daisy Fuentes.
Yeah, she's hot.
Woo! I mean, it was a spot, so I don't know whether, I mean, obviously they had her all spiffed up, which was the thrust of that 48 Hours thing on CBS last night. And, of course, we should know that, but we don't because we're stupid and we want to get sucked in. The fact that people don't really look as good as they make them appear in the TV and in the movies and on print media because they airbrush and they do this. And they can take somebody even as grotesque as us and make us look good.
Well, are you sure about that?
No. No, not in your case. 5670560. Hey, you see my billboards around town, don't
right.
I look lovely, huh?
I know you can see that mole from a mile away now.
That's right. In fact, I'm in that race tomorrow. I got the mole position. WQAM.
Yeah, want to talk to Neil?
Yes, sir, speaking.
This is Neil.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah, I got an athlete.
Okay.
Wait, what about, Brad Fulmer?
Brad Fulmer's good looking.
Yeah, and I got to tell you something else about coming back from Toronto.
Yeah.
Stay there, because we don't need any faggots down here.
Okay. 5670560, Brad Fulmer. But see, he's telling me Brad Fulmer's a good-looking guy, but stay there because we don't need any faggots down here.
Right, you're going to muscle in on his territory.
Right, that's right. Now, I'm not going to take Brad away from you, okay? Brad Fulmer, Brad Forward, Brad Kramer, Brad Backward. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Now, in fact, I think we should do it the other way, pal. You stay there because we got more than enough. We got more than our quota fags up here. Believe me. Trust me when I tell you. See you on Church Street, sweetheart. You and Miguel. In fact, you know something? It wouldn't surprise me if that was Miguel's boyfriend just calling and try to deflect the suspicion. WQAM.
Bush and Rumsfeld.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. See, I should have stuck by my guns this last one. He's never going to be on again. I've said that before, and now, it's just laziness. If the next presidential election being held today, who would you vote for? Bob Graham, 88. Jesse Ventura, 64. George W. Bush, 56. 17% even. Hillary Clinton, 37. John Kerry, 28. Howard Dean, 26. Dick Gebhardt, 8 people in this audience like Dick. Ralph Nader, 8. John Edwards, 5. Al Sharpton, 5. And Jew Lieberman, suck and win in last place, Joe. 3 votes for Jew Lieberman out of 328. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon line. WQAM, hello. Nobody there. Nobody on 7. Don't you feel bad about that?
Crushed.
You know who was in a movie I saw yesterday? And I don't understand how he made it because I think he's been sick like all year. Didn't he have Hodgkin's?
SARS?
Barry, what's his name that plays on Seventh Heaven? Barry...
Oh, I don't know.
Watson.
Okay.
He's a pretty good-looking guy.
Don't watch that show.
You never seen Seventh Heaven?
No.
Oh, that's right. Well, the father's a minister, so that would probably turn you on.
No kidding.
There's a lot of hot people on that show, man. I'll tell you, I don't watch it, but I have seen it, and there's a lot of hot, every variety, whatever you like.
Jessica Biel.
Howard Beale, Jessica Biel, Jessica Tandy. She's driving it. WQAM.
Yeah, this is a Neil show?
Yes, it is.
I'd like to request for Neil for him to play the crank calls during the Mo Howard David show. They're funny. That be possible? Does he ever run shows like that?
No.
No. Okay, thanks.
You bet. 5670560. See, now, obviously, that's the guy that makes crank calls to the Mo Howard David show, right?
That'd be funny.
That's what he does. Don't be cranking on our good, close, personal buddy, Mo Howard David is. Okay, what's wrong with you, man? Any guy that's that old and has a fragile ego like him, any call might just put him over the edge. So, like I said, 6 a.m. tomorrow would be good. Watch that piece just flop around like a squirrel in heat.
Oh, you know,
Beaner Boy this morning asked me what a black squirrel was. He said, are there really such things as a black squirrel?
Well, there are black Russians.
Maybe they should have sent you to debate Steve King, you know what? No, seriously. Now, what is this? From our number one fan in Cleveland, Northfield fans, Case. Oh, I love it. I'm so happy. I hope my friends Dick and Steve are listening at Pompano Park. Don't ever let Walter Case come to Pompano Park. I can't stand him. Walter Case Jr.'s 4-year run at Northfield Park, loaded with hundreds of victories and dozens of suspensions, is over. It ended with Tuesday night's races after Case, the winningest driver in North America the last 2 years, picked up yet another lengthy suspension that under track policy calls for his immediate expulsion. Case, who was unavailable for comment, left Northfield on a high note. He drove in 13 of the last 14 races, winning 8 of them, including the last 5 races on the card. His latest suspension is for 35 days. He's out. Now, this wasn't for, like, race fixing or anything like that. It was for a kicking violation. I'm not sure if it was a horse or maybe it's one of the judges. Anyway, Walter Case is out. Oh! And that's good news to me. I don't like Walter Case. I don't like his whole thing. Him and Hervé Fillon. Bye-bye, boys. We'll see you in jail block number 2. Here's one that says, how about Timu Solani? Now, there's a guy with good taste. How about those Ducks, by the way? Oh! How about those mighty Ducks? 3-1 lead on the boring, obnoxious Dallas Stars. They win 1-0 last night. I love it. Tampa Bay, you're on the verge of extinction, baby, but nice job. Tampa had a good season. Says, I grew up in South Florida, now live in Dallas. I'm not a fan of the Stars, but I do watch the games because I like the way they play, but not in the series. In other words, he likes boring hockey. That goalie for the Ducks is unbelievable. Giguère. He told the Stars before the series started, Giguère is up. And he's got all kind of, look at this, Marlon Brando lines. He's got Donald Rumsfeld line. He's got Joe Zagacki line on it. This guy's doing more lines than Steve Nicol. But anyway, Timo Solani, there's a great looking guy. A lot of good looking hockey players, by the way, like Marty Havlat. Oh, let's talk about the good looking women, because we get real nervous when you do that. When you start with that gay bandit. Yeah. Yeah. We can't handle it. It makes us feel like so unclean.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAQAM.
What's next? Dead babies?
Yes!
I was standing there one day, not thinking I would die from being able to make do. I should never eat McDonald's. A Big Mac must be trapped inside my bowels. How can you die from infected thoughts? Who let these butcher doctors in? Now my heart stopped. You schmucks at Sinai tore my intestines out. I guess I should have known what to expect living in Miami with the kind of service you get in this town. I would hack and leave tomorrow if I didn't eat that crab I swallowed. Why can't you lend me some Ducalaz? Why can't you losers get it right? My bowels were blocked inside my hiney, can't make my turds go out. It's Qatar, it's Qatar. It's Qatar, it's Qatar. It's Qatar, it's Qatar.
11:01 at 560 WQM. Happy Thursday to you. It's a great day for Ducks, I guess. Mighty Ducks, what did I just get you talking about? 1-0 over Dallas. Oh! Lead the series 3-1. Stars are out. They're out. So the Ducks have played, let's see, this year they have played, 8 playoff games, and they won 7 of them. Aren't you impressed?
Oh, blown away.
And you know who that is? That's our good friend Brian Murray, the spokesman. Robbie Niedermeyer, all those rejects. Don't ask me how they're doing it. 351 votes on the poll, presidential election right now. Drew Lieberman, 4. John Edwards, 5, although he said he'd start as a Democrat, but he might cross over. Can I ask you one thing, seriously? How can that show be on the air?
I give up.
I mean, I realize that television is mostly about fakery and chicanery and rip-offs and quackery, but how can Jonathan Edwards be on the show, and how can those people be on there taking it seriously?
Emotional cripples who can't accept reality and the passing of a loved one.
You mean like that guy in the barber shop I was telling you about yesterday?
Yeah.
Who was talking about when you go over to the other side, your relatives are all there waiting for you?
Them.
Oh. John Edwards, 5. Al Sharpton, 8. Ralph Nader, 9. Dick Gebhardt, 10. Howard Dean, 26. John Kerry, 31. Hillary Clinton, 40. 11.2%. The poll on MSNBC last night said Hillary's leading in their survey by a wide margin among Democrats and would give El Presidente a run for the money right now, even though she ain't even a candidate. George W. Bush, 62 votes, 17.4%. Want 4 more years of fascism of this. Jesse Ventura, 69. What a great number for Jesse. That's a perfect number for him. And Bob Graham, 92.
Oh!
To match his age, to match the median age in Florida. I voted for Bobby Graham, and I'd do it again.
And I voted for Jesse.
Well, there you go. We're 1 and 2.
What a ticket that would be, by the way.
That would be good. Bob Graham for president, Jesse for VP.
Right.
That would be excellent. At least we'd have a vice president who we were pretty sure was still alive.
Same haircut.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T Verizon wireless line. Is there something going on with line? Now, I just line
that
checking.
sounded funny.
Yeah, there's something strange
wrong.
It did?
It's got a buzz as opposed to a nice clean dial tone.
Oh, don't forget 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Dave Johnson's going to call in, so now I'm going to have to do my homework about the Kentucky Derby. And Dave knows I don't care about thoroughbred racing anymore. It's just boring to me. I mean, the Derby, you get to the Triple Crown, it's big and Breeders' Cup Day and all that, but I just really don't care about it. It's so boring. On my racing channel, when you watch the horses go to the gate and they're so slow going to the gate,
17, now 1 for 2 this year as a 4-year-old. She clears to the lead at this point, putting away Allure, L'Amour, and then holding off the...
L'Amour, whatever. And then they run, here's a race, a minute 13.66 seconds. So it was like 6 furlongs, I guess, which is 3/4 of a mile. And then you wait another 25 or 30 minutes and you sit there and there's nothing going on. Do you know what I mean?
No, what do you mean?
Well, you never been to the racetrack?
Of course I have. One time each.
You were to Pompano to the harness racing?
Right, joined you for dinner, thank you very much.
When the hell was that? I don't remember that.
About 30 years ago.
Come on, you were at Pompano Park?
You and Fat Rich, I walked out with $3 up.
Get out of here. Well, see, that's fun. Harness racing's fun.
It was fun.
Although Walter Case Jr. makes me sick to my stomach, I'm glad they kicked him his ass out. Don't let him come to Pompano Park, Dick, please, I beg you. Okay? Don't do it. And they'll do it, They just got a wild sense of humor over there. They'll do it. They'll invite him. But the thoroughbreds, oh my God, it's just so slow. But we'll do it because it's the Kentucky Derby, baby, and millions of people will be watching and plunging their guts out, which you can start plunging tomorrow at Pompano at 1 o'clock. You can pre-bet on a Derby. You going to be over there?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know who turns out to be a big plunger, which you never would have expected it?
Oh.
But I guess it rubbed off from working at QAM so long, is Geldy.
No, I never would have.
If you pay attention, half of the time he talks about being out at the track in the afternoon, being at Gulfstream. What is that all about?
I don't know. Maybe he rubbed off from Defoe.
That could be it. Maybe he rubbed it in his face. No, seriously, the guy's got a beautiful young wife. I've never seen her, but I hear she's really a beautiful lady. He's got a little kid. Wouldn't you think when you have to get up early in the morning and you go to work and you're done at 9, wouldn't you think that would be a perfect opportunity to go home and spend as much time as possible with your family?
Yeah, either that or sleep.
Or go home and get a nice nap and then spend some quality time screaming at your family. But no, he's out there plunging his guts out. There's a gambling disease at QM. It's a very bad thing. Very bad thing. In fact, you know who really had a bad dose of it? Was the Wiener guy that you were talking about yesterday, John Wiener.
What do you mean had?
You want to hear what his numbers are? What is he on 6 to 9?
I don't know. Mornings, I know that.
He's on mornings. I believe it's 6 to 9 on Fox, WRFX, which is supposed to be our stiff competition. Let me tell you the great numbers he's got, even with the help of Clarence. 6 o'clock, he's got a 0.1. He's got average quarter hours in men of 200 people. Do you realize that you could put 200 people in my apartment here and have room left over?
That's tragic.
0.1, then a 0.9, and a 0.8. He can't crack a 1 share. 50,000 watts, middle of the dial, can't crack a 1 share, and he's on the air. Sad. Very sad. But he had a bad gambling thing. And then, of course, Jason. Remember Jason with the J-shaped turd?
Right. All of it. I think it's a criteria before they hire you.
God.
They just, how some radio stations hire people out of
broadcasting.
broadcasting
Part of the deal
school?
being that Hank was trying to make all these kids into like little clones of himself. He gave them the numbers of the bookie. They were carrying their cell phones, getting calls from their bookie in the middle of shows, stuff like that.
Don't blame him. They got here that way.
What do you mean by that?
They had it long before they came to work here.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. We don't have a lady on the phone yet today. Here it is after 11 o'clock in the morning. We're past the halfway mark of the show. Do we have a lady yet?
No.
No. Mad Dog at 1. Hank is in Louisville for the Derby. I forgot to mention Dave Johnson. Be sure and say hi to the Humper and give him some Listerine. 3 o'clock, Hank in Louisville. 7 o'clock, it's the Big...
Oh!
Be sure and mention my name to the Big O, because I understand he gets real nervous when you talk about me. And then 9 o'clock, we got Marlins on direct again, because the Marlins, another one at Arizona. Did they win or lose last night, the Marlins?
Lost.
Did they really? Oh, no. What a shame.
And there they go. They're off and pacing along the insider.
What are you laughing about?
What is that?
It's our good friend Marty Adler at Windsor Raceway. Don't you remember the day Marty Adler called in?
No.
Yes, you do.
She's a beast to take over fourth. Along the inside, Dr. Dye fifth. Now Electric Miles up on the up.
Harness racing from Windsor Raceway. You ever been there? I have.
No.
I used to race horses at Windsor Raceway. How do you like that? I owned horses at Windsor.
How'd you do with that?
You know how many years ago?
About 30, man.
That is correct. Lost my ass. Had a good time, though. Those were the great days. Those were the halcyon days, or as Joe Bowen said last night on Leafs TV, the Halicon days. Come on, Joe, butch up a little bit. He did. He said Halicon. My good close friend Joe Bowen. Wait till I tell that to Paul Romanuk. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Not too much action on the phone there today. I don't understand what that's all about.
We're not building a poll.
Good. WQAM.
Hello, Neil?
Yes, sir.
Okay, man, it's fine. The phone was ringing for a long time. Hey, real quick, man, what's up? Happy Thursday to you.
Happy birthday?
I don't know what it is, but the sound on the phone sounds like crap. It's not my phone. It sounds like you guys. You sound like you're really far away.
Yeah, we are.
But, did you see Smallville Tuesday?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did?
Good show, but it was much ado about nothing, okay? I was not impressed by Tom Elling's ass.
Oh, no?
Were you impressed?
I don't go that way, man. I don't know.
Well, then why would you have watched it? Why would you be watching Tom Elling running around naked with his flaming ass?
I'm Puerto Rican and straight.
Oh, well, Puerto Rican next answers the question.
The bean, the pass got down by Mahavlich. Mahavlich gets over the line, trying to get through.
Crowd at Maple Leaf Gardens not too happy with that non-call there. Playoff game 1961, the Red Wings and the Maple Leafs.
Johnson,
with the late, great Bill Hewitt. 567. See, I can put on all kinds of stuff here. I don't need to take. I could, in fact, I should start taping that Real Kids cereals at 8 o'clock every morning. Just tape the audio from that. Oh, that stuff is great. If you had any idea how much I love that stuff.
See, there's something that you could bring down since you won't bring that brick.
What's that?
A tape of those things, those cereals.
Well, What's New Pussycat?
I can't let you make love to me with a person in the closet.
Well, that sure wasn't Kathy Willis, I guess, was it?
Excellent timing.
Maybe that's where Kathy got the idea. Oh, there's the great spaghetti dipper the pasta pot.
You get the complete 6-piece bonus pot.
Have you ever seen this infomercial?
No.
I bet your Wiener Boy has.
Is that the one with the pot with the holes in the lid?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
The one that locks in. And they start out and they show this poor bitch, she's cooked this big pot of pasta, and she's got her colander there in the sink, and she just can't aim it straight, you know?
How did we cook pasta
and
before
she's spilling pasta all over into the sink and making a mess. How did we ever do it before we got the pasta pot?
Handling. You get it all. The 8-quart Better Pasta Pot with the quick lock handles and the entire bonus pasta package.
I told you, a lot of pot going around in Canada these days. I told you that, didn't I? 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T Verizon wireless line. WQAM, hello.
Hi, is this Neil?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Neil. This is Nicole and Ted.
It's who?
Nicole and Ted. We just wanted to tell you we're moving out of South Florida.
Where are you going, Nicole and Ted? Can you explain that to me?
No, I missed it. I was hoping.
I said, where are you going to, Nicole and Ted? And the click. That was it. That was the end of that.
Maybe the car was leaving.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon. They just called to let you folks know they're moving out of South Florida.
All right.
Very strange, Nicole and Ted. Well, have a great life wherever you're going, okay? Just don't come up here. Don't come up here, whatever you do, because everybody else is coming out. They're back. Toronto is safe. Everything is great. They're buying up tickets for all the shows, all the sporting events, like crazy. So I guarantee you Miguel won't be coming up here anytime soon, and certainly George Corso won't be here, will he?
I reckon not.
And that's a damn good thing. I got a spare pillow for Miguel if he wants to make a little trip. I don't understand what you're laughing about again there. That wasn't said in jest. That was a very serious gesture of friendship. since he's so cloistered, and obviously other than being born in Chicago, he's another one that probably has never been hardly anywhere in his life. You think he's ever been to Vegas?
I don't know. Let's get him in here.
Think he's been in Boston? No.
Wouldn't know. Don't know where he's been.
Been in Toronto? Absolutely not. Do you think he's ever been in Cuba? And now, that's another great thing. Since he's such a professional little Cuban, that would be great for Miguel. He could come up here and fly direct from Toronto to Havana.
Right. Bring back some cigars.
Bring back a whole bunch of great cigars. You don't even have to do that. He could come up here and buy them.
SARS and cigars.
Now, let me ask you something. When you bring those back, I guess you have to declare them at customs?
You are not allowed to bring them into the United States from anywhere.
Really?
Really. Legally, that is to say.
Are you sure?
Yes. What people do then is they take the bands off of them and then just say they're Genericons. I bought them off the street in Canada.
I want to tell you something. Cuban cigars, good ones, are so commonplace. You can buy them in convenience stores here.
Right.
I mean, they do have some fine tobacco shops where you can buy, but you can buy them in convenience stores.
The good news is they ain't what they used to be.
Oh. Ever since they started putting like extra in them.
Yeah.
1114 at 560, probably getting them from Gitmo. Probably a lot of that is like floating upstream. Hey, if you've been thinking about buying a new barbecue or any barbecue accessories, what a great place we want to send you to, called Barbecues Galore. Get yourself a head start on the barbecuing season with the perfect grill and accessories, all at the guaranteed lowest prices anywheres. Barbecues Galore carries barbecues in every price range, from the top-of-the-line commercial-grade stainless steel grill to the more portable Weber charcoal grill. Their popular 3-burner cook-on has got a generous 625 square-inch cooking area and 42,000 BTUs, all for one great low price. Get it on a hardwood, a steel or enclosed grill cart for just $399, or upgrade to the sleek black pedestal base for just $439. For all your barbecue needs at the guaranteed lowest prices on the face of the planet, on the place of your face. Don't forget, shop Barbecues Galore in Plantation on University Drive in the Fountain Shopping Center. Call 954-423-1400. And in Coral Springs, 7485 West Sample Road at the corner Sample and Rock Island. Call 954-757-6668. For the biggest and the best selection of barbecues in the country at unbeatable prices, this is the place, Barbecues Galore.
Live and local. This is 560. The radio's all yours now. QAM.
Holy Mackinac! This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and you're listening to the Hockey Authority, Neil God.
Hey, we're searching. Oh yeah, we're searching. Oh Lord, for those weapons of destruction every day. Hey, hey. We gonna keep searching. Ooh, Lord, searching. Have mercy. Searching for the nukes they hid away. But I don't think we'll ever find them. They weren't there in the first place.
No!
Yea, high and low, from house to house, and under every rug, to validate the spin of all those White House thugs. If you still need convincing, tune in Fox or CNN for another dose of lying from but we'll keep on searching. Ooh, Lord, searching. Keep looking for proof of all the nukes he hid away. But you know they ain't gonna find them.
No.
Ain't never had them anyway.
19 past 11 at 560 WQAM. Speaking of weapons that they can't find, President Bush's National Security Advisor, Condoleezza Rice, is now acknowledging that Iraq's weapons of mass destruction program is less clear-cut and probably more difficult to establish than the White House portrayed before the war. She has no doubt that the U.S. coalition, assisted by experts from Britain and Australia, will find WMD programs from Iraq, but for the first time, Dr. Rice, I love when they call her Dr. Rice.
Hello, Doctor.
Is saying publicly that it's less likely many actual weapons will be found. Rather, she described the programs as being hidden in so-called dual-use infrastructure. Like in cans of DDT.
Right.
Pesticide. In other words, chemicals and biological agents could be found in plants like Clorox, like you said this morning, factories and laboratories capable of being used for legal and prohibited purposes. So Clorox could be a weapon of mass destruction if you put it in everybody's punch.
Right, or you squirt somebody in the face with it.
Raw. Almost 3 weeks since the fall of Baghdad, with senior Iraqi scientists and officials in U.S. custody, no chemical or biological weapon stockpiles have been found. Neither has any evidence been uncovered that Iraq had restarted a nuclear program. How do you like that? They're still looking, though. They'll let us know when they find what they're looking for. When they plant it, when they find it. Right?
Yeah, sure.
F&A, man. Here's some more faxes. Anthony says, long-time listener to your show, have enjoyed it tremendously. Nice going, Anthony. I'm a doctor at a huge county hospital. I talk with a lot of people every day. I've yet to find people who support this war. I do understand that this is by no means a scientific poll, but I find it very difficult to believe all these national polls with more than 70% of the people supporting the war and the president. You think the questions being asked are skewed a certain way? That's where you put the question mark, Anthony, because yes. Because they're asked in a way so that if you're not supporting the war, then you're not supporting the troops, you don't support the country, you're unpatriotic, and they've intimidated most people. They've boxed them into a corner. And I was telling George before the show today, up until this war, and being lucky enough to be here with my digital cable and CBC and the BBC, up until now, as much as I knew the media distorted and was full of crap, I never realized the extent to which the American media are just a bunch of propagandists when they feel like it. Of course, when Bubba was having that penis cake going on, then they were a bunch of moralists and pointing the finger, you know. Once Miss Grudge whipped out her blue dress. This other fax you sent me is a page from the program at Mohawk Raceway here in Toronto.
Oh, somebody faxed it. I don't know why.
Probably my friend Ian Fromowitz, who owns racehorses, a whole bunch of them. And he's got a horse circled here, but I'm not going to tell you the name of the horse or what race it's in because, well, I'll wait and see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe it's a tip.
Oh, right.
I don't want to put it on the air. I don't want to knock his price down to 1 to 5. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. We're doing some horse racing stuff here.
And 9 Camelina, Dan Johnson.
See, there you go. There's the field for the 10th race at Windsor Raceway with the great Marty Adler. 5670560. This is my last punch on the phones here because there's not much going on. We have a lady. Well, we had that one woman with her Ted and what was her name?
Right.
Betsy.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Leaving town.
Calling to Teddy, we're leaving town. Click. Okay. See ya. WQAM. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Okay.
Neil.
Yes, I am.
How are you?
Let me say it again. Okay.
Okay. I didn't hear the results of your poll yesterday. Where did Joe's end up?
Where did who's end up?
Joe's.
Let me see if I saved that or not. Did we save that, George? I think I may. Huh?
They were down there. They were like 4th.
I think they were number 4.
No, they should have been number 1. I got a story about Joe's if you got a second.
Go ahead.
A guy came from Atlanta.
Wait a minute. Here it is. Little Havana 332, Dade County 179, Sawgrass Mills Mall 137, Swap Shop 106, and Joe's was 5th with 97.
Only 97. Wow.
Go ahead.
About, I don't know, 15, 18 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever, I was assigned to take a client, pick him up at the airport, and take him to Joe's. That's where he wanted to go. And so we went over there. And it was the only time I'd ever been to the place. And they told us it'd be an hour and a half wait minimum. So we sat there for about 20 minutes, and I finally asked the guy, I said, look, man, I said, you really obsessed about this place? You really want to wait an hour and a half for dinner, or you want the best hamburger in the world? And he was like, well, okay. And the guy was really reluctant. So I drove over to, oh, cripes, the bar with the number 1 license in Florida.
The bar with the number 1 license in Florida.
Yeah. Oh, criminy, I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, took him over there, had a hamburger and a beer, and the guy was so happy he couldn't believe it. And we got away for $20 instead of $200.
There you go. Nice going, man. Good choice.
All right, man.
Thanks. You know the bar he's talking about, don't you, with the best...
the number 1 license.
I know some bars with a number 2 license. 5670560, pound 560. I think they're a little off their feed in South Florida. That's okay. We're going to make up for it. Got a lot of great races here from Windsor Raceway. Got a tip on race at Mohawk tonight. What more could you want, huh? Life is sweet. Going to head for that deli that I was taken to on Saturday again, see if it's really as bad as I thought it was, see if the table was really that small, see if the ambiance was really that bad, and see if they really do have any teeth floating in those little plastic cups. WQAM.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Great. How you doing?
Good. The guy was talking about Tobacco Road.
Oh.
Yeah, they have pretty good food there, cheap and good ambiance.
And a lot cheaper than Joe's, man.
Absolutely.
You won't get crabby at the Tobacco Road.
And yes, and that too.
Okay, thanks.
All right, Neil.
Thank you. Speaking of crabs, I know I've told this many times. I don't think they're probably there anymore by IOD on the Causeway. What's the name of that crab house?
Captain Crab's Crab House. I think they have a lot of crabby places around there.
Oh. Now, maybe it's just me, okay, because I can't take butter. I mean, I like butter, but like I used to tell you about Fuddruckers.
Right.
Where they would butter the bun. I love Fuddruckers because they got that nifty melted cheese and all kinds of good stuff. But every time I would eat at Fuddruckers, God, I haven't eaten there in years because I just can't take butter. You know? Oh, and like at Ruth's Chris, when they would broil it in butter, and I would,
I can't take too much butter.
Yeah.
It shoots right out my ass. Pepper and...
Okay, that's enough. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, where was I talking about before I said Fuddruckers? Oh, the crab place.
Yeah.
Oh, I would get such a sick headache when I would go in there. In addition to which, you got to go through, they give you the little mallet,
Oh, yeah.
Even on Guiding Light, they never saw a mallet like that. Speaking of Guiding Light, man, is that show getting good or what?
Oh!
Wow. Luckily, I get to see it at 3 o'clock here, and I'm seeing the one for the next day, just like I see Passions a day ahead. On a Buffalo CBS affiliate, they have the next days from what you see in South Florida at 10 in the morning or whatever it's on. How about that new Shane, by the way?
Rectum.
All you ladies out there and others. Since we're talking about great-looking people. Oh, and guess who else is back on another soap opera? See, one thing about soap opera actors and actresses, they move around from one to another.
Right.
And Billy, the one that used to play Billy on Guiding Light, the kind of like swishy-looking one, he's on some other show now. And the kid that used to play Zach. Not Big Fat Zach that you're thinking of, but the angel on Guiding Light years ago, back when they had Jay and Zach, back when that show was like enough to get some of us right up close to the screen. He's back on The Young and the Horny. In fact, I think he's going to do it with, what's his name, that Dan Stewart was all excited about?
Oh, we're fine.
Josh? He was just Joshing, I guess. Josh Morrow.
No.
Because right after that, Josh got married and he had a kid and all this other. I think he did that just to protest when Dan Stewart was trying to say those things. Remember that?
I thought he was talking about somebody else.
Josh Morrow, who plays Nick.
No, I understand that. That's who you like, but
West.
I thought Dan was telling stories about Jack Wagner, one of those.
Oh, he was. That was another thing. See, why did you have to bring that up again?
Oh, I'm sorry.
27 past 11 at 560 WQAM. If you guys out there have a big, glaring, ugly one, bald spot we're talking about, a big, shiny, oozing mirror on the top of your head. Here's the answer. Get some real hair. Now, some guys want to peddle you some of the silliest looking crap. Very expensive stuff, too, I should point out. People just laugh at you. Why would you want to waste the money? Some guys want to have you drill holes in the head, so every time your blood pressure goes up a little, you can have like a half a gallon dripping down your forehead. In fact, when you get those holes in there, you have to have like a dipstick at all time to make sure if you're down a quart or a pint. Get yourself some great-looking hair, the Natural Hairline System from our close personal buddy, Charles Alfieri. For over 25 years now, he's been helping the famous and the infamous and everybody in between look their best because the Natural Hairline System is as good as it gets. It looks like real hair grown out of your scalp as opposed to some grotesque barnyard animal hopped up off a tree and just fell on your head. You know what I mean, Mo? So get yourself some real hair back. You got nothing to lose but the bald spot because everybody gets Charlie's 30-day guarantee. If after a month you don't love the way it looks and feels and smells, you're not getting laid at least 15, 20, 30 times a day, Charlie will give you a full refund. Be sure to mention Neil when you call because he'll give you an extra $200 discount off the regular already low price. The Charles Alfieri Natural Hairline, it's the best in the world. Call toll-free 1-800-321-2413 and check it out. 1-800-321-2413 or log on to their website at charlesalfieri.com.
We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Every Mother's Day, my mother calls me on the phone. She says my day is coming up and I don't want to stay at home. And then she says, I need something much more than a car now. Listen up, cause this ain't very hard now. Call the restaurant and put us in the book now. It's Mother's Day and I don't want to cook now. My mama told me, you better
yesterday I told George, don't send me any more faxes from Eddie in Pembroke Pines. You just sent me a fax from Eddie in Pembroke Pines.
I did?
On the inside with the lead. Up on the outside is Camelina. They hit the half in 58 seconds flat.
Yeah. Anyway, here's a fax from Dick, who's becoming chronic, which I'm not going to waste the time with most of us, but it does point out that today's New York Post says Ashley Banfield will not have her contract renewed by MSNBC on the heels of telling too much of the truth about the way the American public didn't have a chance because there was no journalism. They got nothing but all this crap wrapped in the American flag and propaganda and sugar-coated and a real antiseptic war, which isn't what really happened. There you go. That's what you get in America for speaking the truth. She will not have her contract renewed.
What a surprise.
And you know what I'm thinking? I'm starting to think that this thing with Miguel may be a little political, you know what? He knows I don't have SARS or scars or Mars bars or Jack Parr's naked pictures. He knows I don't have those things. Right?
Mason jars.
Mason jars, Mason Adams. But I think it's a political thing, yeah. Trying to intimidate me because of the fact that I won't come back and suck his right wing. Here's a fax that says my nominees for hottest athletes from a wannabe queen. Here are my nominees. Well, what does that mean, a wannabe queen?
I don't know. Maybe
all-time best, Tommy Brady. It says not even close. Oh! I would disagree with not even close. I think Vince Ferragamo, who used to be the quarterback on the Rams briefly, I think he may have even been better looking than Tom Brady. How do you like that? I know that's probably sacrilegious to say that. But I think Vince Ferragamo may have been. But nevertheless, who's the quarterback for the Rams? Not the Rams. Is it the Rams?
Warner?
Not Kurt Warner, the other one, when Warner was injured.
Trent Green?
Trent Green. He's not Tommy Brady, but he's right on his behind. I mean, right, he could shower right next to him, I bet. Runners-up, pro football, David Carr in Houston. Well, the Houston Texans, he's got a funny nose. He's got like a kind of little bent, wrinkled one. And his nose is strange, too. College football, a tie. I don't know these people. Cody Pickett, University of Washington. Justin Zwick, Ohio State. I don't know. Baseball. Now, this is good. This is an excellent list. You don't have to be a wannabe fag. I think you already qualify. Baseball, J.T. Snow of the Giants will be at PP Park next week. He still looks good. And Mad Dog's favorite, Drew Henson, Yankee minor leaguer and former Michigan quarterback. I don't know what he looks like. Basketball, none. Yeah. Oh, no. Wade Redden of the Ottawa Senators. Oh. I guess these people haven't seen Aaron Gavey lately. And Taylor Pyatt of the Sabres. Now you're talking a little bit better. Auto racing, Joe Costello not, it says. And Kimi Räikkönen, Formula One. He's finished. So there you go. There's some choices by some wannabe fag. Got some good names on the list. Taylor Pyatt. This must be like even a real hockey fan. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon Wireless line. WQAM, hello. Hola. Nah, they're dealing with it. They're fiddling with it. Maybe they're on their way out of town, too. What do you think? WQAM, hello.
Yeah, can I speak to Neil?
Speaking.
Neil, how you doing? I work for one of the famous municipalities here in the area.
Yes, sir.
One of the corrupt ones.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to inform you, I read the New Times. I mean, not religiously, but I read it quite often. It's pretty funny how this week's it's got two stories in there about good old boys from Hialeah, and I had to go way out into Miami Springs to find a copy. It's real mysterious how every single copy in every News Times stand here, down 49th Street, down every other street, they all disappeared. How weird. It's real funny, huh?
Must be just a coincidence, huh?
Yeah, all right, Neely. Hey, nice talking to you.
Okay, thanks. What did he say? He said all the people in Hialeah disappeared. Oh! Hialeah disappeared from the map, he said. And, man, we're going to have a goddamn party. All the way up here we're going to celebrate. Oh, here's the Meadowlands.
And fried. Keystone Reggie kicks out the plugs on the outside, applying the pressure.
How do you like that? He pulled out the plugs. He's talking about Mo.
Rectum.
From the bag, I guess. Watch out, Geldy. He pulled a plug out. He must be having an oil change. WQAM.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what happened to freedom of speech on your radio show?
What does that mean?
Yeah, you cut off all your listeners.
Yeah, like you? I cut off anybody who ain't got nothing to say. That's it, asshole, okay? Including you, which you had nothing to say. We have an entertainment show here. We don't have freedom of speech. This isn't the United States Congress. This isn't standing out on a street corner. This is a radio show. It's entertainment, okay? Schmuck. Get lost. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T in Verizon Wireless line. Let's call and make some little cheap shot at the host. Let's call him a name. Let's call it they cut off all the calling. Like a bunch of little overgrown children, man. Like some of the people there at QM inside the building. Oh, we got to quarantine the Queen when he comes back from Toronto because he's got to bring back the Z's. Yeah.
Right, and wrap his head in Visqueen.
Yeah. Not this Queen. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Question for you. I don't expect you to have the answer, but maybe
Probably
one of the
not.
listeners. I want to go out on Sunday and support the Dixie Chicks.
Yeah.
Not that I'm a big fan or anything like that, but just to stick up for them a little bit. And
Well, with all due respect, I mean, you do whatever you want, but I don't think they need your support in spite of all the crap that's going on and all the rallies, the anti-Dixie Chick nonsense. They're getting so much publicity now, they're going to make more money than God's little green acres.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of empty seats. A lot of these rednecks that would have otherwise gone, they'll forfeit their money and they just won't show up. There'll be a lot of empty seats. I'm just thinking maybe go.
Yeah, but they already got their money.
That's true. They got their money. That is true. But if anybody out there knows if there's an opening act or not, because I'd like to go with my wife. I'm going to plunk the money down, but I can only be there late. So if anybody knows, just
We'll
shout
find out for you, pal. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
By the way, George, what are we doing on that next break?
I don't know.
Whatever you remember, things to plug in there.
You remember Muff was going to come back and be very helpful and do
He
this
has.
and do that? Did he do anything?
He's given me some stuff to plug in. I've
Some
plugged
trades,
stuff in.
some
He gave you some crap?
Yeah.
Some crap.
Oh, now what is this that you're fact? Political strikes. What is this?
It's from a website,
Liberal
obviously.
talk radio on the internet. Listen to liberal talk radio hosts over your computer, and I'm on here. Look at that. The only problem is they're listening to me 6 to 10 a.m. WQAM. What kind of a moron put this thing together, huh? Although maybe this is a West Coast thing. So that would be right, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
Like I said, somebody really intelligent put this together. We appreciate it. 6 to 10 a.m. So in other words, I'm doing a morning show on the West Coast. Excellent. Right?
Right.
Ray Talaferro is on KG overnights. And 6 to 10 a.m. on the West Coast, meaning 9 to 1 on the East Coast, Neil Rogers, WQM 610. Excellent. And that's it. Well, there must be more to this, right? Oh, here's some more. Thank goodness. Pete Werby.
Who?
Pete Werby. Laura Flanders, Mike Malloy. Randy Rhodes is listed on here, WJNO, the goddess. Ms. Terry, whoever she is. Peter Werby, Jay Love, Mike Malloy, and Bernie Ward. How do you like that? Oh, look at this. Here's a great fax. Since Miss Drudge was so concerned with Clinton's personal life, why can't we look into hers? Right. Excellent. What's under that hat, huh? Oh. One thing is certain, I know she had to pay for it because nobody would do her for free. I love Lynn Samuels, but please disassociate yourself from that self-hating trash. I'm with you. That's what I keep trying to tell her. I can't tell her who to associate with. I can't imagine how anybody who's a liberal, even a moderate, reasonable person could associate with a self-hating fruit fly like Miss Grudge. But to each its own, okay? Some people are in denial. I just can't buy that. And all the harm and the abuse and the lies and the bullcrap. See, what he has become, he picked up where David Brock left off. I guess maybe it was after he sent him the roses or the pansies or whatever. When David Brock finally saw the light of day and realized how he was being used and manipulated and making up all those stories and lies about the Clintons and all this bullcrap. And he finally, got away from that crap and wrote that book. Now Miss Grudge moves in there wanting to be Walter Winchell and Luella Parsons. I think more like Luella. And maybe a little Liz Smith. It said, during the Clinton impeachment, all the right-wingers like Miss Grudge were saying it's not the sex, it's that he lied. Didn't Bush lie about weapons of mass destruction? Oh, about so many things, you know. Why even waste your time with it? Consider the source. And that thing we had the other day about Richard Mellon's scaife, oh, that was beautiful. I'm saving that one. We're on to you, Miss Grudge, okay? You're not fooling anybody. You might be fooling our mutual girlfriend there in New York, but you're not fooling this kid, okay? He's Alice Rantel. And who's that other one? Andrew Sullivan and Roy Cohn and Gay Edgar Hoover and Joe McCarthy, all wrapped into one. Oh! That's Miss Grudge. Oh, but he's got 50 billion hits on his website. Have you ever really looked at his website?
Yeah, once.
You know what 90% of it is? 95% of it.
Cut
Links.
and paste. Right.
Links. I'll guarantee you right now, and of course we're on, one little market here. We're doing 250,000 hits a day. If we were on in not 50 states like he is, if we were on in 10 states in major markets, we'd have over 1 million hits every day too. We'd have like 5 million. But what does that prove? Our website on our worst day, which we don't have any bad days, Beaner Boy, but on our worst day is 50,000 times more interesting, entertaining, and informative than that piece of crap, because there's like maybe a half a dozen headlines from stories, and then there's like links. And I noticed since he's such good buddies with our mutual friend Lynn, I don't see her website no link to there, even though she's got one to him and we've got one to him. I don't see us get mentioned on there. How do you like that? I just mentioned that in passing. Links. Anybody can make a website and put 50,000 links on there. Is that, what does that mean, you know?
Everybody has.
You know what? He's like the Rascal House and like the Joe Stone Crabs of the internet. No, seriously, it's a state of mind. It's a state of mind. A lot of hype. A lot of right-wing hype. But you keep going, Luella. You go, girl. 11:43 at 560 WQM. You know, Mom's always been for us. So this Mother's Day, she deserves the softest gift for the hardest job. This year, pamper her with Pajamagram. She'll receive the most luxurious pajamas along with free lavender bath tea, a gift card, and a Do Not Disturb sign, all delivered in a keepsake hat box. To send a Pajamagram gift, shop online at pajamagram.com or call 1-800-GIVE-PJs, and they'll help you choose the perfect pair. They have brands she knows and loves like Nick and Cora, Crabtree and Evelyn and Notori, made from premium fabrics like Egyptian cotton and fine silks in sizes to fit any mom. Plus, they've got gowns and robes, slippers, and great spa products, too. Sending a Pajamagram is a creative way to thank her, and it's delivered right to her door. She'll absolutely love it. It's a gift you know she's going to be using. This is a sister company of Vermont Teddy Bear, so you know you can trust their quality and on-time delivery, too. So this Mother's Day, send Mom the softest gift for the hardest job. And we all know what the hardest job is. Just visit Pajamagram.com or call 1-800-GIVE-PJs. That's Pajamagram.com and tell them that old Neil turned you onto it.
This is Sports Radio 560 QAM.
I think my turban is frying. Hotter and hotter, it's burning right through my robe. I'm infectious. Push, 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 why you set my country on fire? Every place is flaming, I don't know which way to go. The explosions burn things hotter. The tanks and trucks melt just like butter. It lights up the Baghdad sky, burning mosques. Just a bunch of burning mosques. A bunch of burning mosques. A bunch of burning mosques.
146 at 560 WQM. This is great where you just emailed me. The Ace of Spades, baby, from that deck of criminals. Here's George W.
I emailed that this morning. Greenpeace put that deck out, and normally I have a lot of mixed feelings about it.
I love that.
But I want that deck.
I just seen it. I thought maybe you were going to email me more pictures from contestants.
As they come in.
For our Hot Couple Contest. Get with that, okay? It officially starts today, the Hot Couple Contest. You might win yourself a 3-day, 2-night stay in the Bahamas, including airfare.
Does that mean that we're going to, like, put the...
The pole up your ass? Yes. A red hot poker. Remember the one in, what was that movie with Robbie Benson? The basketball movie?
Oh, God.
Diary.
One-on-one. I know my Robbie Benson movies, mister. What was that one where he was spanking that little monkey? George W. I think that was O.W. Joe. George W. Bush, President of the United States of America, possessor of approximately 10,600 nuclear weapons inside the NFT. Look at that. NPT? What is that?
No.
So anyway, there it is, and it's, I say there it is. They're not going to see it.
They will. It'll be on there shortly. On our
Great.
website.
We're putting it on our website. See, how do you like that, Miss Grudge? We're putting really interesting and provocative stuff on there as opposed to just like a black and white page with a bunch of links on it. Man, isn't that what is on Mo's head, too? He's got links on his head. Links with a Y. Frank in Melbourne says, heard you talking about Jerry Williams passing away. I'm from Boston, grew up listening to Jerry, got hooked on talk radio because of the hours I spent listening to him and all the callers. Used to listen to on a crystal radio as a child. I was in South Florida in the 80s, driving back to Boston, searching the AM band for something to listen to and thought I heard a familiar voice. I tuned back and heard Jerry's voice and recognized it instantly. It was great to hear his voice once again and stayed tuned as far as the signal would go driving north. WNWS. W Snooze. You're right, Jerry was well known in the Boston area. He could get some real idiots calling in to argue. Reminds me of you and some of your callers. Guess that's why I listen to you, says Frank. So long, Jerry and Neil. Thanks for bringing back the memories, and thank you for years of entertainment and being the sole voice of reason on Florida AM radio.
Absolutely correct, sir.
Thanks for the lick job, Frank. Let's see. John in Miami has an attached bedtime story. Americans have good reason to be afraid of their leaders, it says, by Barbara Sumner Burston, who is bursting at the seams with information.
Not a bad story at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Should I read it?
Yeah.
Well, I'll read it cold. How do you like that? And then we'll see where we go from there. Freed from the oppression of their dictator, Iraqis are now free to complain. From tens of thousands of marchers chanting, "Down, down, USA, don't stay, go away," to individuals spitting at soldiers, Iraqis are flexing a muscle that paradoxically had atrophied under Saddam Hussein. Their muscle is bulging again. But now here's an irony that nobody expected. Back in America, complaining about America is the one thing that's pretty much disappeared, lost under the weight of a collective patriotism and increasing constitutional limitations. Voicing any sort of anti-war opinion is just not done anymore, and a number of organizations have sprung up with the express purpose of blacklisting celebrities who speak out. Susan Sarandon is obviously on the list. She's quoted as saying she doesn't remember ever being in a climate where people were too afraid to even have a conversation about an issue, let alone a debate. But then in America, uttering any threatening remark about the president is illegal and likely to land you in jail. Writer Jonathan Friedland, looking at America's history of tolerance and diversity, said in The Guardian that the country was turning into a very un-American America, where the limits of acceptable discussion have narrowed sharply, and anyone commenting negatively on the war or the president is denounced as unpatriotic. It shouldn't come as a surprise. A quick reading of the 2001 Patriot Act, formed in the dark hours after 9/11, clearly shows it's all part of a bigger plan. Under the guise of security, the act allowed all kinds of incursions into private life. Some, like the right to track organizations suspected of funding terrorists, made sense in light of the attacks. Others, like the right to seize library lending records or the recruitment of posties, pizza delivery guys, and local shopkeepers into a national network of informers, did seem draconian. But it turns out it was not enough. This is in the New Zealand Herald, by the way. New Zealand. But it turns out it wasn't enough. Sweeping new amendments to the bill have been drawn up. The Patriot Act 2, or as the brave would have it, the Liberty for Security Act, was leaked to the press in February, and in its present form makes for scary reading. It allows for things like random arrests, secret military tribunals for presidentially designated terrorists, and concealment of presidential records. It even proposes reversing a federal court decision authorizing the release of the names of the hundreds of people still detained without representation in the dragnet following the 9/11 attacks. Perhaps you believe that if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear? The Lawyers Committee for Human Rights warns that for the first time in U.S. history, the act will explicitly authorize secret arrests, not to mention sneak and peek searches. That cute term means federal agents can enter your home, download your computer and internet viewing history, take your private business records and any other material, including confidential library and bookstore records, without telling you, without proof of probable cause, or without getting a court order. And the best part? The legislation does not restrict searches to people suspected of being involved in terrorism. It gets worse. The act not only increases government power while decreasing checks on its invasive power, if passed, and looks likely, the government will be able to sample and catalog genetic information without a court order or your consent. The act also broadens the term terrorist to include anyone with views that differ from the government. Ha ha ha! Tell Miguel, don't worry about my coming back.
Okay.
And it says, forget being a whistleblower. That's set to become illegal even if your motive is to protect the public from corporate wrongdoing or government neglect. But then to whistleblow, you need access to information. Under Patriot Act 2, information such as the environmental safety of local factories will be off limits, and you won't be able to contribute to meaningful dialogue on the future of such resources as forests. That constitutes belonging to a special interest group. In addition, if you don't like a secret decision made by a government organization, say clear-felling ancient sequoia trees, you have no right to appeal. And even the press will be barred from publishing contentious information. Feeling a tingle in your spine yet? Richard Woods, the head of our own spy service in New Zealand, the SIS, wouldn't comment. Even as receptionist Mary, I don't give my second name, would not comment on questions about New Zealand's response to Patriot Act 2. But in comparison to the U.S. draft, the proposed amendments to our own 2002 Terrorism Suppression Act are puny procedures, like we require a court warrant to use electronic tracking devices. So for now, while Americans are waking up to a world where if you're not for your government, you're a traitor, New Zealanders are safe from the tyranny of an apparently unfettered government. America is changing, and it's changing fast, and that raises an opposite question. What is opposite?
Don't know.
It raises a question. Are we, tucked away in our comfortable corner of the world, up with their play? And if so, how do we intend to respond to it? This is written in a column in New Zealand Herald.
We got them quaking.
Yeah, how do you like that? The world's getting real nervous. The spread of fascism, that's the term, not used in this column, but that's exactly the term, fascism. Not creeping, but smothering, spreading. And anybody who signs on to that, man, just like I said during the war about people having blood on their hands, anybody who goose-steps along with this, man, put on a uniform and a hip boots and do your Sig Heil, because that's what it's all about. Pathetic. How's that poll coming, Neil? If the next presidential election was being held today, who would you vote for? Well, we got 484 votes. Bob Graham, 131. Jesse Ventura, 87. George W. Bush, 85. That's 17.5%. Hillary Clinton, 57. John Kerry, who looks kind of scary, 37. Howard Dean, 31. What about Alan Burke? He was the dean. Dick Hephardt, 14. Al Sharpton, 14. Ralph Nader, 13. John Edwards, 9. And Drew Lieberman is sucking wind in last place. He's got 6. Only 6 for Drew Lieberman. Remember when he was supposed to be the front runner a few months ago?
Yeah.
And at that point I said, why don't we just disband the Democratic Party? And make no mistake about it, because this is one show where you won't hear anybody tell you how great the Democrats are or the Republicans. They both suck. The Democrats are just less malignant, less scary. They're the buffer. But, man, you've seen the way that you talk about intimidation. They've just kind of like seeped back into the woodwork now. And with a rare exception like Swillery and a couple of others, they are mum. They got nothing to say. Scared schmittless.
I'm infectious!
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. WQAM. Hello. WQAM, hello.
Hi, I was trying to get some information on Goldie's golf tournament. Do you have a number I could call or something?
No, I don't, but call during the morning when they're on. That's probably a good time to get it and get a new phone, too. Goldie's charity golf tournament, which is a good thing he does, but we have no idea what the number is, but probably a real good time to get the information would, like I said, between 6 and 9 in the morning would be excellent, right?
Right.
Speak to Robert Grieper or the Creeper or Zach with his attack or one of those guys. We don't know nothing. WQAM.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You're infected.
WQAM. Hola. God, are these people slow. WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Neil, how are you doing? I'm sorry.
Okay.
You know, those New Zealanders, they've been on to us for a long time. That was a great article you read there.
Mm-hmm. I thought so.
Yeah, they were the first. Remember back in the, I think it was the late 60s, early 70s, they were banned any American ship from entering their ports that was nuclear powered or had nuclear arms on it. That created a big row back then. But when you're talking about the Democrats shrinking back into the woodwork, well, there's really one word for that, along with the media, and it's anthrax. Did we ever find this the anthrax murderer?
No, we did not.
And, you know, it's U.S. government weapons-grade anthrax.
Isn't it an interesting coincidence that Tom Daschle got the letter, and they were like, you know, of course, the people at the networks also got the letter. I guess that was to send them a message, like Joey Zaza was going to send a message. And there were like no conservatives got those envelopes. That's pretty interesting.
Yes, and especially when those conservatives, when they want to go on and on about the liberal media, Dan Rather and Tom Brokaw are the first two names to their lips. And that's a very interesting thing that's happened there. And Leahy, he's on the
oh, that's right. Patrick Leahy got one, too. That is correct.
That's right. And essentially, and of course, when we're talking about the postal workers that got it, we're talking about essentially a Democrat liberal supporting union. And nothing was done about that. As a matter of fact, they...
Well, now you're stretching it a little bit.
Well, no, I'm just saying that...
They were just collateral damage.
Yes, I understand. I'm not saying that they were directed, but there wasn't much incentive.
Well, the bottom line is they still haven't found anything. They still have that person of interest that they're trying to crucify, that Ashcroft has been trying to nail to the wall. But they still haven't arrested anybody for it. They're nowhere closer to finding out about the anthrax than they were in the beginning, if they don't really know the answer. And secondly, we haven't found Osama, and we haven't found Saddam, and we haven't done squat, but we got this deck of cards, baby. Yeah.
Yes, just indicating what did you know that Bush handed out to the families of the soldiers that had died when he was doing one of his military crowd parades? He presented to the families of the dead troops that were there at his celebration last week, each a deck of cards. And I thought that what an amazing metaphor that is to hand to the grieving families.
How much classier can you get than that?
Yeah,
huh?
to indicate that this, like, hand them a game card, a set of game cards. Outrage, Neil. Thank you for everything that you're doing. Appreciate it.
Hang in there, Pally. See you at the border. 11:58, 2 minutes till noon at 560 WQM. We got the Mad Dog at 1. Hank in Louisville for the Derby. 3 to 7 this afternoon. The big 7 to 9 before Marlin baseball. You know, Mother's Day is coming up just a week and a half away, so it's a perfect time to repay Mom, who spent so many nights during her lifetime waiting for you to come home from those late-night excursions during your younger, wilder days, like maybe a week or two ago. Dial Mattress has got the perfect mattress for Mom. If it's sagging, lumpy, just worn out, then pick up the phone and call Dial Mattress toll-free at 1-800-MATTRES. That's the number for Dial Mattress, and I've used them many times. George has used them. Even Miguel, who used to be a pretty good guy, he's used them too, and he's screwing his brains out on that thing, and the mattress too. They got the complete line of Serta, Sealy, King Coil, and Simmons to choose from, so don't put it off any longer. Nothing's got a bigger impact on life, on the way you feel every day, than a great night's sleep, so do the same for Mom. And don't forget, Dial Mattress has got more repeat and referral customers than anybody else because they know how to treat their customers right. And I promise you, I guarantee Mo's life on it. Once you buy a mattress from Dial Mattress, you'll never go back to wasting gas, time, and money shopping in an expensive showroom again. And when you buy that mattress from Dial Mattress, keep in mind they set up the new one and take away the crappy old bedding for free. Let me say it again. Dial Mattress sets up the new and takes away the soiled, nasty old bedding for free. So this Mother's Day, have Mommy sleeping like a baby on her new bed from Dial Mattress. Gift certificates available too in all denominations. Call right now, 1-800-MATTRES. That's 1-800-Mattress, the intelligent, the easy way to get you a great night's sleep.
Live and local. We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
I'm Frau Iliana Ross-Leitman, and I like scrubbing my smelly gorilla ass with soap made from jewels and listening to the Neil Rohe Comunista Hour.
Shut up, you big hog! Ginger Rogers takes a mouthful of the sausage in Jorge's pants. That pipe smoker and uncircumcised Cuban engage in a fakeler dance. I'm a cranky homophobe. Not that I mind it, but I'm way too old. I fantasize about being in bed in a tryst with Fiedler, my man friend. I'll kiss and make up with Ginger someday. And then ask him to rape my bun over and over again. No, I would not feel remorseful. No! And I would not be ashamed about a Ginger and Mo gay union. Just boning and stroking away. Boy, baby, you're not my type. No! You sound like a 9-year-old kid. Only a macho, manly kind.
You don't notice me.
That makes me flip my wig. If Ginger was a lover of mine, I'd bury my bulbous, veiny nose inside his pimply rear end. No, I would not be a sport hole. No! If I was not a closeted fay. That's why a Ginger and Mo gay union would make me feel giddy and gay.
Everybody follow my bouncing balls.
Yeah, Ginger and Mo gay union would make my sore old bony ass feel safe. If we had a Ginger and Mo gay union, then he wouldn't have to get me raped.
12:05 at 560 WQM, our world famous noon to 1 hour. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Record industry warning to pop up. The next instant message that music downloaders receive might be a warning from the recording industry. Turning up the heat on internet piracy, the record label said Tuesday. They'll reach out and touch individual swappers via the popular means of online communication. When you get a message that pops up and says, we know who you are and what you're doing is wrong, we think that'll hit home, says Kerry Sherman, president of the Recording Industry Association of America, the RIAA. This is a way to remind them that, oh yeah, this stuff is illegal and maybe there are risks. Do you think that's going to stop?
No.
Not going to stop you, huh? Sure won't stop Beaner Boy, I'm sure of that.
Hell no.
Let's use him as a test case. The recording group will send about 1 million automated messages a week, starting with 200,000 Tuesday to users of Kazaa and Grokster.
Okay.
Grokster.
Okay.
This is the first time. And you notice Beaner Boy isn't saying anything?
He's way on the other side of the room working on the website.
That's because Miguel keeps grabbing my mic and slapping it all the way across the room because he thinks it's funny to do that.
Keeps grabbing it and slapping it.
It says it's the first time the RIAA has directly targeted casual home users, but the industry has sued 4 college students for music sharing on campus. Net provider Verizon is under court order to reveal the name of a customer accused of infringement, and a judge last week said users of file-sharing services, not the services themselves, are violating copyrights. The industry hopes to herd some of the millions of free downloaders toward authorized pay services, such as Apple's iTunes music store, which opened this past Monday. You're going to be on there, aren't you, Beaner Boy?
Of course.
Right. 5670560. Boy, somebody emailed me something and I can't open this file. I'm having a nervous breakdown. I mean, it's just, you know.
Oh, that must have been the Adobe file with the entire deck of cards in it.
No, it wasn't from you.
Oh.
It was something else. See, everything comes back. You know, Beaner Boy, everything comes back to George.
What an ego.
Yeah, everything comes back to George. You think you're the only person that emails me stuff?
No, but I just emailed you a file that I was afraid you might not be able to open.
Well, you're probably right. Well, you know how computer illiterate I am.
No, you're okay.
5670560. The phone is as dead as a doornail, man. We're doing screenless on a Thursday. We're having a marvelous time. At least we are on this end, but the audience is like that. I think what put them over the edge was that fax that I got with those good-looking athletes, and that really did it. They're under the bed. They're hiding now. They're with Miguel. They're hiding under the bed. We're macho. Does anybody believe us?
No.
No, we don't believe you. WQAM.
Hello?
Yes?
Yes. May I speak to Neil, please?
Speaking.
Is this Neil?
Yes?
Okay. I was going to ask you something. Miami Beach. Hello?
Yes.
Yes. I was wondering if I was in Miami Beach the other day, and these three guys were yelling at us, and we were crossing the street. Some of these crazy guys. I don't know what to think. Is there things like that happening on the beach right now, or what?
Is there what?
Well, these people on the beach, these guys with a bald head, they were shaved head, and they were calling us Jews and yelling at us. Could you tell us what was going on?
Would I tell you what was going on? I think there were a bunch of guys with shaved heads calling you Jews and yelling at you. Get out of here, lady. Can you believe that?
No, I don't believe it, actually.
What was that? What do you mean you don't believe it?
I think it was a fake voice.
Get out of here.
That's 2 of us.
That was a fake voice, that nice old lady on the beach with that high-pitched falsetto voice?
No one could have been like that.
You don't believe that?
Oh,
no. Yeah, you know something? It was Beaner Boy. It was Beaner Boy on the phone. You're not fooling me. That's why he couldn't speak before. He was like dialing up the number. WQAM.
Howard Stern, please.
Okay. WQAM. QAM.
Hi.
Yes, sir.
My name is Charlie. I'm from Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, we don't do names, Charlie, but that's okay. Go ahead.
I just thought it was kind of odd that there's 55 people are looking for it in a deck of cards, and a deck of cards only has 52 cards.
Uh-huh. Well, this president can't count too good.
I guess not.
Thanks.
Thanks.
He's kind of like Fredo in The Godfather, you know. Smart, not like everybody says. Wouldn't you say?
You know,
I can handle things. I'm smart. Not like everybody says. They're dumb. I'm smart, and I want respect.
9 minutes past noon at 5:60. See, I'm busy over here trying to do something, and you're trying to get me to do the show, and I don't want to do it.
No, I know.
Because I'm trying to look at something over here, and I'm looking at that next break. What is that? What kind of a break is that? Did we ever find out what this is all about today? What's going on here?
No.
Well, when are we going to find that out? When is Muff going to actually do something? When is he going to get off his duff, Muff, and do something?
I don't know.
Good golly. I mean, we've got to depend on Matty Bell for everything. We'll probably have to get him to find out about this, too. WQAM.
Hi, Neil?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hi. I love that article you read before from the lady in, what was it, Australia or New Zealand?
New Zealand, I believe, yes.
The word apposite, I looked up in my little pocket dictionary.
Yeah, what the hell does that mean?
It's an adjective meaning suitable.
Okay.
And you were reading something before and you came across NPF and didn't know what that meant. I think it means Nuclear Proliferation Treaty.
Okay. That's on that Ace of Spades on that deck of cards.
Oh, yeah, I think that's what that refers to.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I'm done.
Okay, you're done. He's done. Yeah, I didn't even read a Maureen Dowd column today. She had a column. It's on our website, but not one of the all-time greats, so I didn't bother reading it. So now other people are... Well, of course, when they're from New Zealand, you know, they speak kind of funny, eh? Well, they do. They're like more Brit than they used to be part of that British Empire, Australia and New Zealand. And in fact, the whole damn thing was the British Empire. Look what it did for them. Yeah. All you people that are all excited about this great American imperialism, be careful what you wish for. Remember somebody wrote a column about that the other day? Mm-hmm. Who didn't have the balls to say what he was really talking about? Right, little Tommy? Hey, little Tommy, maybe you want to look at that obituary of Jerry Williams. He used to work at WNWS. He was very popular in the South Florida market. Maybe you want to check that out, but I doubt it. Lazy Tommy. WQAM, hello.
You remember a few years ago when there was...
WQAM, hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, I am.
Neil?
Turn that radio off, sir.
Okay. Yeah, those other two cards are jokers.
Yeah. You think you got it all out?
No, I think he's still going.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. You know what the president said? That's exactly what he said. WQAM.
In the form of closing costs and interest rate reductions.
WQAM, hello.
Dude, I'm so wasted.
WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neil?
Yes, sir.
You'll never guess who I just ran into smoking fags out in front of the courthouse.
Who's that? Norma Kent.
Joyce Julian.
Yes, sir.
Who?
Joyce Julian, Judge Joyce Julian.
Who's that?
And?
And, hey, what's a hot hat?
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T. Are you interpreting these calls today
I
or what?
have no idea what any of these people are saying.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
I'm infectious!
Ann Coulter is a party girl slut, party girl slut, party girl slut. Ann Coulter is a party girl slut, party girl slut, party girl slut.
On her back, legs are spread. Nancy snatch, gives good head. Nancy snatch, Nancy snatch, Nancy snatch, Nancy snatch, Nancy snatch, Nancy snatch, Nancy snatch. A camel toe, 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 a camel toe.
A moralist monster, a good girl who wants to be a media hoe and prefers it on top quiver. You want more on this lady? Here's what I'll give you. She's got a book to read about slandering. Nobody knows more about slandering out with a big stupid mouth. Anyone to the left of Mangala, such a good Christian girl, you want to strangle her. Pontificating who she's hating, political pundit pontificating, sprawled on the floor and masturbating. A Republican skanky hoe. She's a federalissimo, making liberal a dirty word, you know, in a miniskirt showing camel toe. Ann Coulter knows what hate can be in a miniskirt that smells fishy. She's a tall drink of water on the side of Law and Order with a back alley look. If you like your broads taller, if you got the money, she'll spread those legs with a cigarette and a Chardonnay. Ann Coulter, political pundit, the angel of the right and an easy lay.
1218, did you know that Ann Coulter and Miss Grudge are the same person?
No, I didn't. That would explain a lot.
I mean, sometimes they're on radio together, but he's just doing both voices. But you never see the two of them on TV together. It's the same person. Similar wardrobe. She's got the better hat. 550 votes on the poll. If we were having another presidential election right now, and we're hoping that we do have another one, you never know. Who'd you vote for? Bob Graham, 144. Jesse Ventura, 98. George W. Bush, 98, 17.8%. Hillary Clinton, 65. John Kerry, 47. Howard Dean, 35. Al Sharpton, 18. Dick Gebhardt, 15. Ralph Nader, 14. John Edwards, 10. And Drew Lieberman, only 6. Now, I noticed you got 2 more entries for our contest, for the Hot Couples contest.
Yeah, since you mentioned it, I went and looked, and lo and behold.
Lo and behold, and you did pass them along. Now, I know which one you're voting for.
So far. Let's see if they can beat that one.
Oh, yeah. I know which one George is voting for, and probably Beaner Boy, too. Wow. Talk about a couple of gigantic boobies, man.
Outstanding.
Wow. And the other couple is kind of interesting looking. They're cute.
Yeah.
Okay, like I said, they can't compete in your book. Look at those things, man. They're kind of like smiling right back at you, you know? So keep those pictures coming. You got 2 weeks today until the 15th, right, to enter?
Right.
Trying to figure out how this thing was right before Beaner Boy screwed with the rules on it. 15th through the 22nd, the pictures will be up there on our website, and then you can vote. And then the winner gets a 3-day, 2-night stay for 2 at the Royal Oasis Resort and Casino in the Bahamas with round-trip airfare on Lake Erie. And runner-up gets dinner for 2 at the Pizza Loft. And don't panic now, because the winner of the contest will don't worry, will have nothing to do with Bob Lincoln, okay? Well, I just mentioned that because we might have some people who went to Vegas with us years ago, and I don't want them thinking, conjuring up visions of sugar plums like what happened on those trips. Wow.
You know what happened on those trips? They all had a good time, one and all, in spite of everything.
Wow. Only took 20, 30 years off my life. WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neil.
WQAM, hello.
Everything's a conspiracy.
WQAM, hello. QAM, hello.
Yeah, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
I really didn't have to talk to Neil. I wanted to find out, you just had a commercial about Noctoria.
Yeah.
And I tried to copy the number down, and I couldn't get it. Could you give it to me quick, or is it possible?
You got the number there, Beaner Boy?
No.
I know you don't. Hang on a second, okay?
I'll give him the number to the front office or something.
I beg your pardon?
I'll give him the number to the front office or something.
Yeah, take care of him, okay? He wants to patronize one of our fine sponsors. And since we have so few, at least on this show anyway, boy, I tell you, there's something going on here today. Really, really makes you scratch your ass and wonder. Started out with all this business about, we're really concerned. We're having meetings now about whether the Queen needs to be quarantined when he comes back from Toronto.
Yeah. I think there's a connection between that and the spots. Maybe they think they'll get SARS if they sell the show.
Mm-hmm. I got news for you. Most of the people in our sales department, SARS would be an upgrade for most of them, from whatever they got. WQAM, hello. WQAM, hello.
Hello, is this Neil?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I was wondering, could you, I'm wondering about...
Speak up, sir. I can't hear you. Speak up.
Okay. I'm
Talking
sorry.
that thing with holes in it.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, I was wondering...
Sir, let me ask you a question. How old are you?
I'm 63.
63?
Yes.
Come on. You're 63 like Mo Howard David at 63.
No, I'm 63, absolutely.
You sound about 83. Are you sure?
63 years old, I am.
Okay. What year were you born?
I was born in 1938.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Okay. I was going to ask you about something.
You still sound too old. I don't want to talk to you. Doesn't he sound too old?
Oh, ancient.
I'm 60 and this guy's 63. He must have lived a really rough life. Too old, man. Michigan man sues McDonald's after finding chewing gum in his salad. Detroit. A man is suing fast food giant McDonald's after allegedly biting into a piece of already chewed gum in a salad. In a lawsuit filed in Wayne County Circuit Court, Joseph Taylor says the February 26th incident has caused him mental anguish, humiliation, embarrassment, and pain and suffering and loss of appetite. He has sought medical attention according to the lawsuit. Taylor also said he fears he may have contracted AIDS or hepatitis, the Detroit Free Press reported Wednesday. I wonder if he's related to George Corso, Miguel, or both, okay? How do you get AIDS or hepatitis by chewing on some used chewing gum, huh? That's pretty interesting. The assistant manager of the restaurant, Amit Kumar, said McDonald's insurance company is handling the lawsuit. The lawsuit states Taylor was eating a salad at McDonald's on Wayne State University campus in Detroit when he discovered a foreign object in his mouth that had already been chewed on by somebody else. Haven't we all? We've all had foreign objects in our mouth that have been chewed on by somebody else, haven't we?
You have.
No. He is seeking damages more than $25,000, and I guarantee you so have you. You're just thinking about different objects, man, that's all.
I've never had a foreign object.
Wrong. Look at that picture again, okay?
Well.
Yeah, well. 5670560, pound 560. Just quit being in denial, okay? I'm the bad guy. I'm the pervert. I'm the one who's infectious.
I wasn't denying
I'm
anything.
dangerous.
I never had no foreigners.
Yeah. That's right.
I'm the foreign object.
How about in Montana?
So everybody's a foreigner to you, George.
They're all domestic.
All Americans are foreigners to you.
Let me tell you right now, you're as cold as ice. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I was having lunch at a restaurant where we remain nameless. They're famous for the cheesecake. I found a used Band-Aid in my salad.
Yeah.
And that story just told absolutely fucking horrified me. Excuse my ass. Go ahead.
I would save it for next time, like maybe in case you cut your lip or something.
On the broken glass. Neil, I just moved to Delray. I never understood what you were talking about with the old people in Delray.
Oi!
Yeah. That bit you have with sitting on a bench in Delray, they should be renamed backing into a parked car in Delray. I've been backed into 3 times. I've been here in the last 2 months. I cannot believe the people here. There's a plaza called Oriole Plaza out there on Atlantic Avenue close to the Turnpike. If you don't have life insurance before you pull in that place, you are absolutely out of your mind. There are 14,000 older, let's say, retirees. 3 of them are going 50 miles an hour. The rest
okay, thanks for the info, pal. Thank you. He tells us that the old people are driving slow in South Florida. I don't want to be rude or cut you off, but man, terminal, I was ready to go into a coma. Weren't you? Poke him in the ribs, Carlos. Now, let me say this to you, okay? I don't really think we need to do 4 breaks this hour. Right?
Oh, man.
In fact, if we would have played our cards right, I could have... Well, you know what really is pissing me off? You're emailing me stuff. Other people are emailing me stuff. And I don't have time to even go on there and download stuff because every time I fart, the break is over already. We never had a log like this except maybe way back like, Christmas time after Christmas or very bizarre times, at the end of an advertising cycle.
Mm-hmm.
God.
There's absolutely no need for another break right now.
That's what I just said.
So, no problem. 2 breaks.
2 breaks? How are we going to do? You mean 2 more breaks?
Right.
See, there he goes again. We even had it on the poll the other day. I saw Gaslight. Okay, I keep reminding George of that. I saw that movie, so it's not going to work. In addition to which, I'm not quite as macho as Ingrid Bergman. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon line. QAM, hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I was that second gunman on the grassy knoll.
WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes,
hopefully that plane that the president's on today, hopefully it...
WQAM, hello.
John Buck?
A run. We got a run, man. You ever have the run? That's what we got. We got a run on the phone. WQAM. WQAM, hello.
Be very quiet. I'm hunting most happy.
WQAM, hello. Okay, like I said, that's the end of the calls for today. I was just checking to make sure they were absolutely out of material, because I'm not. I'm just double checking, just to be sure. 27 past noon at 560 WQM on a poll. Who'd you vote for president if we have an election right now? Bob Graham, 152. Wouldn't you love to see the pictures? Speaking of putting people's pictures on the web, wouldn't you like to see the pictures of these nerds that call in?
No.
The Chamba guy and that group?
Oh, yeah, just so that I could spot him in a crowd.
For the laugh.
Yeah. You can just imagine. Probably make Beaner Boy look like a literary giant, like an intellectual.
Look like?
Bob Graham, 154 votes. Jesse Ventura, 105. George W. Bush, 101, 17.2%. Swillery Clinton, 68. John Kerry's got 47. Howard Dean, 40. Al Sharpton, 19. Dick Gebhardt, 17. 17 would vote for Dick. Ralph Nader, 16. John Edwards, 12. And Jew Lieberman still only got 8.
Oi!
I hear he's less to fill in.
Tastes great.
28 past noon at 560 WQM. So we'll do one now and one like it about whenever we feel like it. Quarter of.
Good.
Now let's get Muff or somebody on the story here on the case and see what the hell is going on here with this. Because if we have another log like this tomorrow.
Well, supposedly we won't.
Supposedly we won't. Well, so in other words, you must have had some information?
Well, the Duff has been running in and out saying that it's going to be taken care of, but the reason why has not become apparent.
I see. Well, let's find out what is apparent, okay? That the water Nazi and the sales department, you put them together, you got a real dangerous combination is what you got. You put her together with that bunch of losers, and you throw Scran into the mix, and you got a real bad result. Here's where you can get a great result when you're shopping for a great new car, used car, truck, SUV, whatever you're looking for, and that's Hallett Pontiac GMC. And right now, Tom Lehman and Joe Prieto have got some fantastic, unbeatable Neil deals waiting on you. It's the 1st of May, by the way. I would imagine that probably they've got some new stuff going on, too. You think Bob Eisenberg is on top of the case?
No.
I doubt it. Is anybody working there anymore, or is this just a joke?
No.
Seriously. I think they all left town. They all probably panicked and left the building in anticipation that I might sneak in there any time soon. Anyway, here are the Neil deals going on at Hallett Pontiac. Neil deal number 1. Get 0% financing for 60 months in every Pontiac or GMC in stock. Neil deal number 2. Get yourself up to a $4,000 rebate on every new GMC and Pontiac in stock. That is correct. Get up to a $4,000 rebate on every new car or truck in stock. Neil deal number 3. If you're currently a GM Smart Lease or Smart Buy customer and drive a Chevy Blazer, an Olds Bravado or GMC Jimmy, buy or lease you a new Pontiac or GMC and get an extra $1,000 off the price. So stop by Hallett, and while you're there, why not test drive the all-new and powerful and spiffy Pontiac Grand Prix? Hallett Pontiac GMC, you'll love doing business there because they treat you right. No high pressure, no BS, just great deals and personal friendly service. You'll find them at 13401 South Dixie Highway, that's US 1, right across from the Falls, open every day, 7 days a week. For more information on those Neil deals, call the Neil Deal hotline toll free, 1-888-534-4211. That's 1-888-534-4211. And don't forget, all Neil deals subject to credit approval. See dealer for details at Hallett Pontiac GMC. And don't forget, they be professional grade.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAQAM.
Dumb as dirt.
I am Dr. Gupta. I will be performing your heart surgery today.
Hiya, Doctor. What do you know? What do you say?
How are you feeling, Mr. David?
Like I bit into a York peppermint patty. What do you think I feel like over here?
Well, it's a simple heart valve procedure. Just breathe deeply into the mask and you won't feel a thing.
Say, I went under fast. I can't move or nothing. Look at that. He's opening my chest now. Hey, by the way, son, Dr. Gupta's taken off his pants. And now he's, what the, raping my chest cavity. Hey, stop. Do you know who I am? There's nothing I can do. He's raping my chest, and I can't move.
Oh, why did you die? Oh, why did you die? It was a beautiful funeral, Mo. Even if I was the only one who showed up, you were like a father to me. Well, looks like it's time for me to do what I always wanted to do.
What do you think you're doing dancing on my grave?
No! I thought you were dead, Mo.
Of course I'm dead. I'm a zombie, you moron.
No! You know what that means, Mo. I gotta kill you now.
And how do you propose to do that, since I'm already dead?
Well, it's something I never told you, Mo.
Yeah, what's that?
I'm Geldy, the Vampire Slayer.
Big deal.
Now I got to stab you with my throbbing stab.
Knock yourself out, punk. I'm in a mud hole, see? Why,
The power of Christ compels you.
Oh,
The power of Christ compels you.
12:35 at 560 WQM. We got the Mad Dog coming up at 1 o'clock. None too soon, by the way. None too soon. 616 votes on the poll. And Senator Bob is doing pretty good. 161 votes. Administration appeals for under God.
Oh, God.
The Bush administration appealed to the Supreme Court yesterday to preserve the phrase under God in the Pledge of Allegiance recited by school children. The reference doesn't amount to unconstitutional government promotion of religion, the administration's top Supreme Court lawyer wrote in a court filing. Whatever else the Constitution's Establishment Clause may prohibit, this court's precedents make clear that it does not forbid the government from officially acknowledging the religious heritage, foundation, and character of this nation. Solicitor General Ted Olson wrote in a court filing. You know him?
Yeah.
One of the penis-gate head honchos? Right-wing asshole? This is what the Pledge of Allegiance does. The pledge is therefore constitutional, he said. The Justice Department in a California school, that would be like asking Hermann Goering if the bratwurst is done just right.
Yeah.
The Justice Department in a California school district asked the High Court to reverse a federal appeals court ruling last year that banned the teacher-led pledge in public schools. The Constitution says the government may not establish religion in practice. That has meant the government cannot endorse or promote religion in general or favor one religion over another. The Supreme Court has twice declared the pledge is constitutional, and numerous justices have assumed as much in other writings, Olson argued. The appeals court ruling was widely denounced in Congress, on opinion pages, and at the White House, because naturally nobody wants to attack God or apple pie or a mom or maybe even Chevrolet, unless you have a crappy beat-up old Impala. So that's the USA for you, man. Under God. They just keep sticking your nose in it and rubbing your nose in it. Hey, that's the way it is. I mean, we got to finish Christianizing America before we can Christianize all those infidels over there in Schmatahead land. We got to do a good job of finishing off all the people here aren't converted yet. Huh? What are you smirking about?
Finish us off, right?
Well, one way or the other. And you know how they're going to do it?
I'm going to make them an offer they can't refuse.
Exactly, that's right. The way they've always done it through the centuries. Oh, no, not another piece of skullduggery by the ace of spades. Bush tries to weaken tobacco treaty. As more than 160 nations prepare to sign, this is from the San Francisco Chronicle, of course. More than 160 nations prepare to sign a landmark treaty to control tobacco. The Bush administration is waging a last-ditch effort to gut the accord of its strongest provisions, including a worldwide ban on tobacco advertising. The treaty is being closely watched by Philip Morris, the world's largest tobacco company with $19 billion in sales last year, and other cigarette producers would see it as a potential catastrophe for their businesses.
All right.
U.S. Ambassador Kevin Moley staked out the administration's hardline position in a meeting Monday with the Director General of the WHO in Geneva. Oh, how do you like that? They were consorting with the WHO.
Oh!
A copy of Moley's, is that Holy Moly? A copy of Holy Moly's position paper was obtained by the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, an anti-tobacco lobbying group. Government officials confirmed that Moly delivered the documents to WHO Director General Gro Harlem Brundtland, that butch abroad from Norway. According to the position paper, the U.S. wants signatories to be able to ignore any provision of the treaty they disagree with. As it stands, the treaty does not allow signatory nations to express reservations about individual restrictions. Are you following this? Every treaty. I mean, it's us against the world, baby. If you people haven't figured that out yet, that's where it's at.
Well, those are
it's
all
you
bad
against
treaties.
the rest of the world. It says, coincidentally, the U.S. position paper was delivered to the WHO shortly after the WHO released a major study warning that new cancer cases worldwide will surge by 50% to 15 million by 2020 unless governments act to turn things around. We can make a difference by taking action today, said Dr. Paul Kluhus, whatever his name is, co-editor of the 350-page World Cancer Report. We have the opportunity to stem this increase. And the U.S. said, no, can't do it, Pally. Can't do it, Pally, because our friends at Philip Morris are going to be pissed off and fired up. Look at this. First, we started with that pot story with Jean Chrétien, pot to be decriminalized in Canada by the end of the summer, probably sooner, probably like in a month or two, midsummer. And to show you what a bunch of perverts we got up here for all you homophobes out there, which is a vast part of the audience, BC same-sex couples await marriage ruling. A decision could be announced today on a British Columbia case brought to court by 7 same-sex couples fighting for the right to marry. The case is being decided in the BC Court of Appeals. A 3-judge panel began hearing the case back in February after the couples appealed an earlier court ruling that prevented them from legally getting married. Now the panel says it's ready with a decision. Jane Hamilton and Joy Masuhara, who have been together for 10 years, are eagerly awaiting the decision. They say they were a little bit surprised at how quickly the court has moved to a decision. They thought the case could take as long as 2 years to decide. We thought at the earliest maybe 6 months, but we weren't expecting that, maybe not even this year, said Hamilton. The decision's been made so quickly, it's likely the decision has been unanimous. That's my understanding of it, said Masahara, whatever their name was, which means the 3 justices have either all said, no, you can't, or yes, you can. The battle can be traced back to 1999 when one couple tried to obtain a marriage license from the BC Director of Vital Statistics and was rejected. Another couple following a year also failed. Eventually, 8 same-sex couples found themselves embroiled in a legal battle to marry in BC's Supreme Court. If the court sides with the couples, many see it as a huge step for gay equality, but if the court sides with the Crown lawyers who say it's not up to the judiciary to change the legal nature of marriage. We'll see. By the end of the day, they're saying. Wouldn't that be something, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, and wait till you hear this. Remember how we saw the beating on the chest by the Shiites?
Mm-hmm.
The flagellating?
Right.
Well, get your chains out, baby. The retired general overseeing Iraq's post-war reconstruction said yesterday that his fellow Americans should beat their chests with pride at having toppled Saddam Hussein without destroying the country's assets. Are you beating your chest?
Oh, my chest?
Doesn't sound like your chest. He says we ought to be beating our chest every day. We ought to look in the mirror and get proud and stick out our chest and suck in our bellies and say, damn, we're Americans. Jay Garner told reporters saying that Iraq's oil fields and other infrastructure survived the war almost intact. No electric, no water, big stinking deal, okay? A lot of dead bodies, a lot of disease, cholera, stuff like that, asthma.
That's just untidiness.
Can't breathe the air, part of that untidiness of war. And all you media people, man, you better goose step back in line if you know what's good for you. Because come June the 2nd, we're going to take away everybody's goddamn license that don't goose step right into line. Not that we want to threaten anybody or anything like that. 12:45 at 560 WQM. You know, for a long time now I've been telling you about it. And I still don't have it, Skippy. I'm not trying to be a freeloader or anything like that. I have not got my new Oleomed shipment yet. I just mentioned that in passing. And Oleomed is something you look forward to getting because it's good for you. It does wonders. Oleomed soft gels contain the finest olive oil on the planet. It's not just ordinary olive oil. It is super concentrated, loaded with health benefits. Oleomed every day can help reduce the risk of heart disease and high cholesterol. Plus, there are 14 different Oleomed formulas from which to choose, each one combining the finest olive oil with vitamins, minerals, and herbals to support specific health needs, from your bones to your blood pressure to all kinds of other good stuff, too, to your immune system. Just pick out the formulas that are right for you. And good news is that there are now 3 new Oleomed formulas. One to help you sleep, one to help you control that weight, and CellQ10, which is CoQ10 for your heart. Pick some up today. Pick up Oleomed at Publix, Eckerd's, Walgreens, Whole Food Markets, Navarro's, or Sedano's. Order it online if you like OleomedAmerica.com. Or if you want to get more information about these great products, call them toll-free, 1-866-OLEOMED. That's 1-866-653-6633. Pick up some Oleomed today, and for better health, start popping it in your puss.
Live and local. This is 560. The radio's all yours now. QAM.
Media is sick and needs help badly.
I make time pass with my fat ass sitting down watching the news. I just don't want to use my brain or develop my own views. 'Cause they all smile so smugly, all the pundits that I see, like on Fox and Friends. I believe they're my friends, and they really care about me. I'm infected. I know it's true, convincing too. 'Cause I saw it on TV. I know that man there in the White House has the goodness of the Lord. I lost my job, my money's gone, that's what I blame Clinton for. They came for my family, 'cause they did not agree. But I have nothing to hide, so I should be alright until they come for me. I know it's true, convincing too. 'Cause I saw it on TV. I've got the proof, and it makes it true. 'Cause I saw it on TV.
Look at there, really see it.
Yeah, how come you're showing all them demonstrations, man, and then people marching and pissed off and fired up and spitting on the soldiers and stuff like that? You should be showing all the glamorous stuff like the oil fields.
Right.
Huh?
Not on fire.
And they're lifting up them Shell, those big signs up there in the Exxon one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Condoleezza is going to go over there and bless personally. Dr. Rice is going to bless the Chevron one. Yeah. She's going to give her personal blessing to it.
What's that like?
She's going to make the sign, and say peace on it.
Oh.
Defense CEOs are big winners of Iraq war. Now, this is in the Boston Globe, and they better cut this out, See, I've backed myself into a corner here. I just realized it. And this better not happen again tomorrow. I don't want to play Butch Boss, but I'm just telling our sales department and the Water Nazi and our operations manager and our program director that there's something rotten in the water today, okay? You could hear it from the audience. It's not just at QAM. Maybe the audience is like boycotting us because they're afraid they're going to catch the SARS over the phone, over the radio. That could be it. Probably Miguel is out there driving around town screaming it out. Turn off QAM, you'll catch SARS. The signal's coming from Toronto, eh?
From the NDP are out and out saying how ashamed they are to be part of such a process.
How do you like that? They're ashamed to be part of such a process. I do like that processed cheese, though, don't you?
Which brand?
Kraft.
Yeah. I like Borden.
Not Velveeta.
No, that's Kraft.
Man. Isn't that just a cheese product?
Right.
Which
cheese
means
inspired.
It's a little cheesy on the inside. Kind of like your underwear.
Cheesish.
Defense CEOs are big winners of Iraq war by Derek Jackson in the Boston Globe. More than 130 American soldiers died in a dubious war in a dusty oil-rich land. In dust-free boardrooms, the CEOs behind our bombs, missiles, tanks, and planes went to corporate heaven. On the dust, 12 teenagers paid the ultimate sacrifice. In the boardroom, men in their 50s and 60s filled their sacks with cash. 12 soldiers will never see 20. At least 13 weapons executives took home more than $20 million in compensation since 2000. The young paid dearly. Middle-aged and graying CEOs were dearly paid. Neither the clouds of dust nor the closed doors of the boardroom can hide the bankruptcy. The Boston-based watchdog group United for a Fair Economy, known in general for its reports on the vast pay gap between CEOs and workers, this week published a report on the even more insane gap between soldiers and weapons CEOs. Using federal, corporate, and think tank data, the group found that while the average Army private in Iraq earns about $20,000 a year, the average CEO among the 37 largest publicly traded defense contractors made 577 times more money in 2002, or $11.3 million. That's not far off, 20,000 to 11.3 million.
Nah.
That's in the ballpark. Since 2000, the 37 defense contractor CEOs, actually given our first strike war, it is more appropriate to refer to them as offense contractors, have taken home $1.35 billion. That may not be Bill Gates, but it still means that just 37 men have made enough money in the last 3 years to, for instance, pay for 2 years of running the Boston public schools. Meanwhile, everyone knows how the budget cuts have turned public school systems into their own little Bagdads because their governments say there's no money after war, tax cuts, corporate giveaways, and sports stadiums. In less predatory America, it would be rude to brag about financial winners as a result of the terrorist attacks of 9/11 and the attack on Iraq. Yet between Homeland Security, Afghanistan, destroying Iraq, and rebuilding Iraq, it was hard to tell whether offense contractors were patriotic eagles or pouncing vultures. Sacrifice? Not when the $11.3 million average pay or offense industry executives is nearly $4 million a year more than the average for the largest 365 companies surveyed by Businessweek. CEO pay at Lockheed Martin went up from $5.8 million in 2000 to $25.3 million in 2002. It went up at General Dynamics, tanks and submarines, from $5.7 million in 2001 to $15.2 million in 2002. It went up at Honeywell Aircraft Systems from $12.9 million in 2000 to $45 million in 2002, and at Northrop Grumman it went up from $7.3 million in 2000 to $9.2 million in 2002. Pay went up at Alliant Bullets and Bombs from $1.4 million in 2000 to $10.5 million in 2002. It went up at Cardinal Health Medical Supplies from $2.9 million to $17.7 million. It went up at United Defense Industries Guns and Cannons from $794,000 to $2.7 million. At Raytheon, who make missiles and bombs, it went from $8 million in 2000 down to $2.6 million in 2001, and back up to $8.9 million in 2002. $8 million in 2000, down to $2.6 million in 2001, and back up to $8.9 million in 2002. Wouldn't you like your piece?
Oh, please.
In radio address in May 1940 during the defense build-up prior to the U.S. entry in World War II, President Roosevelt said, "Our present emergency and a common sense of decency make it imperative that no new group of war millionaires shall come into being in this nation as a result of the struggles abroad. The American people will not relish the idea of any American citizen growing rich and fat in an emergency of blood and slaughter and human suffering." In the same speech, Roosevelt also said, "We must make sure in all that we do that there be no breakdown or cancellation of any of the great social gains which we've made in these past years. We've carried out on an offensive on a broad front against social and economic inequalities and abuses which had made our society weak. That offensive should not now be broken down by the pinchers movement of those who would use the present needs of physical military defense and destroy it." 6 decades later, war millionaires run the country, whether that be Vice President Dick Cheney's old connections to Halliburton, to the $13.6 million that Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, General Dynamics, Raytheon, and United Technologies have given in political contributions since 2000. Military spending, after falling from $320 billion in 1991 to $266 in 1996, has soared to the $400 billion level. As the war millionaires soar, using the majestic, patriotic masks of eagles to disguise the ugly vulture waiting for a handout, the United States is creating a new definition of friendly fire for the budget broadsides in schools, healthcare, and city and state services of every kind. 63 years after Roosevelt's speech, a new group of war millionaires came into being, both as a result of America's struggles abroad and its abandonment of the struggle at home. What a great column, man.
Wow.
Kind of a marginal reading by me, but a great column by Derek Jackson in yesterday's Boston Globe.
You need to read that tomorrow earlier.
I beg your pardon? Why is that?
Because I don't want anybody to miss that one.
I need to read that again?
Yeah, please, could you?
I just tore it in half. I can,
damn it.
I can put it back together. I can download it again.
And speaking of such a cheerful story.
Yes?
Happy birthday, Mommy.
It's your mommy's birthday?
Yeah. And if I don't say that, then I'm going to have to, buy her a present or something.
Well, what the hell could a schlepper like you afford to be buying Mommy?
Small little card.
Oh, my God. And not only that, but a week from Sunday is Mother's Day.
Yeah, it's a bad month.
So you better take care of your mama.
La tuya.
Huh? We should probably... Oh, we don't have that in there, do we? You got it on that cart.
I do? What?
Your mama?
Oh, that should be in there.
No, we don't have time to play. But I'm just saying if I would have had... It should be in here? Your mama? No, it's not in here. Don't worry about it, though, okay? Please don't worry about it.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to do this on a timely basis. Our poll today, if the next presidential election was being held today, who would you vote for? Bobby Graham, 172. Jesse Ventura, 131. George W. Bush, 112, only 16.8%, huh? Hillary Clinton, 75. John Kerry, 50. Howard Dean, 43. Al Sharpton, 22. Ralph Nader, 19. Dick Ebbard, 18. After that, very, very small potatoes. See where I was going?
Oh, okay.
The Middle Eastern world
off the deep end
will be exploded. Saddam had people killed with the gas that we sold him. First time aggressor nation and the only one that's going. Now more blood will be spilled to get that oil flowing. Forget about Korea and the nukes they're toting. And the right wing is drilling it over and over into our heads. That Iraq has some weapons of mass destruction. $3,000 people killed are now forgotten. Let's exploit them instead. Hey, there's oil to be gotten. Going after Saddam to placate Osama. There's no longer mention of the name Bin Laden, but no one seems concerned, all comfy and complacent, believing every word of this cartel administration that controls us by fear through media manipulation. And the right wing is drilling it over and over into our heads. That Iraq has some weapons of mass destruction. The loss of civil rights is the price that we're paying. We're all suspects now, Nazi Ashcroft is saying. I have nothing to hide. Table talkers all are saying blind obedient cattle don't have any reservations. Without unprovoked battle and world annihilation, old regimes must fall and Halliburton installed with no objection at all. Democrats don't have the balls and the right wing is drilling it over and over until our brainwashed heads. Iraq has some weapons of mass destruction. Only Iraq has some weapons of mass destruction.
Special kudos to our sales department for a real nightmare today. Thank you so much, guys.
Bye, bye, bye. The Neil Rogers Show on 560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
I'm a fat Jew.